You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a...
Kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. What it do, what it do, what it do. Good, great, grand Monday morning to y'all wonderful, beautiful people, man. Whew. Let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. Prejudice, sister, amigos, mi amigas, hermanos, mi hermanas, ladies and lads, boys and girls, prince and princesses, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We are here, baby. We are here in the place to be on this Monday morning, man. Hey, we got some things to talk about, man. Things to chop about from this weekend, man. I thought personally that this weekend was a great weekend of boxing. Now, I know it wasn't like a big weekend of boxing as far as like star power goes in the realm of boxing, but as far as good fights, man, this weekend was definitely less star-studded, but it was definitely more engaging, more intriguing, more interesting than last weekend. So that just goes to show you that it's all about the fights of the performance, man. You know, we don't always have to focus on the stars. You know, it's always good to have LeBron, you know, play basketball, but there's the Pacers are playing good basketball too. Ask the Cleveland Cavaliers, you know what I'm saying? New York Knicks are playing good basketball too with Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges and the rest of the company, you know? So it's like, bro, like there's other good fights. That's why I watch Pro Box. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of all the commentary on there, you know, especially DAZN is the worst, but you know, at least Chris Algieri is good. I think Paulie Malignaggi is good as long as he's not talking about Canelo or Gervonta Tank Davis. Then he loses his mind. But yeah, man, they have some good cards, man. You know, there's always some good cards, even in the English boxing. I mean, Kakashi versus Leigh Wood wasn't all that, but it was good enough. But before we get to that, man, let's go ahead and thank the Most High like we always do, man. So join me and say your prayers before we get into it. Please join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for bringing us into this Monday, this wonderful Monday morning. Lord, we thank you for waking us up to see the brightness of another beautiful day, or if we wake up really early where the sun's not even out yet, Lord, we just thank you for another opportunity to live life to the fullest and hopefully bring some kindness into the world and be, kind when it's hard. Because I know in this world that we live in, kindness is considered a weakness because so many people confuse being mean or being hateful with strength, and that's actually the biggest form of weakness. And being kind is actually the biggest form of strength because it takes strength and courage to be kind despite how other people are acting, Lord. So we ask you that we remain in your in your love, remain in your kindness, remain in your positivity, Lord. And the easy way to do that is to always consult you and look up towards you and remain faithful to you, as opposed to looking at what's going on in the world. So we ask you for patience, we ask you for understanding, and we ask you for love through Jesus' name. Amen. Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful, beautiful mothers out there, all over the world, and in heaven, through Jesus' name. Amen. Amen, amen. We got my boy Mike Mazik in the building. Hit this roll call real quick for the one time. Mike in the building, Mr. Mike. What's good, brethren? But yeah, man, so let's get it started, man. Let's get it started. Excuse me. That tea hitting right now, ain't it? Yes, sir. I felt like someone was crawling on me. Probably just my hair. But yeah, man, so let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. So we had some fights this weekend, man. And before we get to it though, shout out to Big Bang Zhang, Zele Zhang, by Asian brethren, or in particular Chinese brethren. Yeah, he said he wants to come back and fight again this year, man. He said it's not over for him, man. He's 42 years old, which is not old in life, but once again, that's older to be competing at a high level. Last time we saw him, he got stopped by Ajit Caballero, right? But I think he has 3 losses. No shame in losing to the 3 people that he lost to. He lost to Philip Hergovich, which was controversial. He lost to Joseph Parker. That was a majority decision. That was also controversial. And then he lost to Ajit Caballero. There was no controversy with that one. You know what I'm talking about? He got bing bam boomed. You know what I'm talking about? So Ajit was probably his first legit loss. Not saying the other ones were illegitimate, but I'm saying they weren't clear. There was nothing foggy or muddy or murky or questionable about Ajit Caballero's win over him. Now, with that being said, do I think he could come back and be successful? What do you consider successful? Some people think that you're not successful if you're not a champion. I disagree with that notion. I think you'd be very successful without being a champion. Champion just means that you are the most successful in some regards, most regards, but it doesn't mean that that's the only way to be successful. I think he could beat a lot of people, because even with his definitive loss to Ajit Caballero, he knocked Ajit Caballero down. We can't forget about that. A lot of times we forget about the things that transpire on the way to the end result. But no, Zele Zhang knocked Ajit Caballero down. And I believe that if he could knock Caballero down, don't you think he could probably knock, I don't know, Moses Atama down, who's a young bull? Don't you think he could potentially knock down Martin Bakole? Don't you think, well, he didn't want to fight Bakole, which is understandable, but I'm just saying, don't you think he could possibly knock down, I don't know, any other top contender? You feel me? So, I don't think he's done, but I'm not sure if he could be a champion again. I'd be interested in him and Anthony Joshua. That would be a rematch from the Olympic Games, right? Where I believe it was London, where AJ won gold. So I think he's definitely still serviceable, but at the same time too, like I said, he is 42 years old.
Damn.
And when
I'm sorry.
And when you're 42, you do run dangers of being older and being hurt, and you know what I'm saying, you don't want to get hurt chronically. But like I said, he I don't think he's in danger of not being able to protect himself, and he doesn't have that much ring mileage, in the professional ranks. It's not like he has like 50 fights like Deontay Wilder or Derek Chisora or something. He only has like 27, 28 fights or something like that. So he does have some young aspects about his game, so I think he'll be fine to come back, man. Now, if he looks bad and he's getting battered and beaten, then of course you stop fighting. But I mean, Joe Joyce is still fighting, which you don't want to be like Joe Joyce, but and he already beat Joe Joyce, but still, you know what I'm saying? He beat Joe Joyce twice, right? I think he beat Joe Joyce twice. Yeah, stopped him twice. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's all I wanted to update, man. I think it's fine for him to come back. I just don't know if he has championship aspirations. I don't know about that. But I definitely think it's fine for him to come back. Now, moving on, before we get to the fights this weekend, I just want to give y'all some other news too. And part of that is Mr. John Fury, man. Spam those Gypsy King of Obesities in the chat, man. I mean, they spam my, one of my favorite fighters, Tyson Fury, man. John Fury, I watched the interview, Tyson Fury's father, those of you that don't know. He said that Tyson, his son, only lost to Alexander Usyk due to money. He said that his belts were stolen off of him.
What?
You know, coming from where I'm from, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing, you ain't hear nothing. But I saw what happened then. There wasn't no robbery, bro. He beat you fair and square. He beat your son rather fair and square twice. Like, you know, there were close fights, but to say they were stolen from you, to imply that there was a robbery, not only did he imply, he flat out said that John Fury was robbed. I mean, that his son Tyson Fury was robbed. And this is what he said. He said that he believes that they didn't pay his son. I mean, they robbed his son. They took the belts away from him because he would have been too much to pay. Wait, what? You think they didn't have enough money to pay your son?
What?
You mean Turkey Al Sheikh didn't have money to pay your son?
What?
Do you mean Riyadh season didn't have enough money to pay your son?
What?
You mean the same people that already paid your son didn't have enough money to continue paying your son?
What?
Like, come on, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I gave Tyson Fury a big pass because, you know, we don't like to hear excuses, right? You know, even though I don't think every reason is an excuse. Like, I think sometimes you provide explanations. I feel like sometimes as boxing fans, we are too hard on the fighters when they answer questions and they answer honestly, you know? But I thought his excuse for losing the first time was trash. He said that he lost because the war in Ukraine, meaning that they gave Alexander Usyk the victory to try to boost the morale of the war-torn Ukrainian, of his war-torn Ukrainian countrymen. And I was like, come on, Tyson. You know what I'm saying? And even if you believe that the first time, but bet you have a rematch, and then you go again, you know what I'm saying? But then you lost again. It's like now your father's coming out talking about they didn't have enough money to pay you. Come on, bro. That's just ridiculous, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, what's even crazier is the fact that Tyson Fury is obviously thinking about coming back to fight AJ, right? Out of his retirement for the 15,000th time, right? Who do you think is going to fund that fight? Who do you think's going to pay for AJ versus Tyson Fury? I think it would be Turkey Al Sheikh, the same person that you're proposing robbed you of a victory because they couldn't pay you. Come on now, that sounds crazy.
You dumbass.
Like, what are we doing, man? Just take your L and keep it moving, man. Like, it's all good, bro. You lost, bro. You lost. Alexander Usyk put that bing bang boop on you, just like he did all the rest of your UK countrymen. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Alexander Usyk. Like I said, the Usyk Kingdom, man. The UK is not for United. The U in the UK is for Usyk. Usyk Kingdom, man. He runs things around there, man. He's the boogeyman down there. That's all. He just got to you, bro. It's okay. It's okay, man. You know, try to get the trilogy if that's what you want. I don't really want that, but that's what the rumors are. The rumors are that the AJ versus Tyson Fury winner would get a trilogy with Alexander Usyk, and that would potentially be his last fight, assuming he beats Dubois. Because, you know, they both have the commonality and the unique distinction of losing to Usyk not just once but twice. AJ lost to him twice, and then Tyson Fury lost to him twice. So the winner of that fight will try to get redemption in a third rubber match against Usyk. But I think that idea is trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I mean, you know me though. I've never been a proponent for trilogies where the same person won the first two fights. That's why I think the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano trilogy is kind of overplayed now. I think it's kind of played out. It's like Katie Taylor won twice. Not saying that the second fight wasn't close. I thought Amanda Serrano could have won, but Katie Taylor won twice. Why are we having a trilogy? It's like when Tyson Fury fought Derek Chisora. Tyson Fury beat Derek Chisora twice. Why did we have to see a third fight? There's only time we should have a trilogy is when there's different results. If one person wins and then the other person wins, then boom, have a trilogy like Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. If there's a draw and then another person wins, then we have a trilogy like Canelo versus Triple G. You see what I'm saying? Or Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. But if you have one person winning both fights, why the heck are we having a trilogy? So yeah, I think that whole idea of The same person won the first 2 fights, and you still have a third fight for no good gosh dang reason. That's trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Yes, sir, man. We got 913 boxer in the building. Yeah, facts. Usyk beat the brakes off him. Facts. Talk to him. We got Oscar Perez in the building. He said, please smack that like button. Yes, sir. Like plant smack Charlo. I'm talking about a full 180. Make you change directions with the smack. Facts. Talk to wait. I thought Fury was one of the most paid guys at Riyadh. Yes. That belly disagrees. He ain't had no money. You know what I'm saying? That big belly, too much jelly in that belly, man. So he's just trying to get paid. And that's the thing. Now, one thing, I don't mind you getting paid, but then you can't say that you're going somewhere to get paid, but then your father comes out and flat out blatantly says that you didn't win a fight because they didn't want to pay you. What? That's contradictory. And that's being nice. That's a nice way to put it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say, oh, yeah, I'm coming out of retirement to get paid, which you know that's what he would do to get a big payday through Riyadh season. But then I can't even say imply, because he flat out said that he thinks that his son didn't win because their bill was too much. They didn't want to have to pay them again. What? What do you mean Turkey Al-Sheikh didn't want to have to pay you again? No, you lost because Usyk is better. That's why you lost. You lost because you didn't win. That's why you lost. You lost because you tried and then you tried again and you came up short both times. That's why you lost. Has nothing to do with Turkey Al-Sheikh and Riyadh season didn't want to pay you a large lump sum of money again. They already paid you how many times already? Literally twice with Usyk. Was it Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou? Wasn't that Riyadh season as well? If I'm not mistaken, chat, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, they paid Tyson Fury at least 3 times, and you're saying that they didn't let him beat Usyk because they didn't want to pay him a 4th time, but then he's contemplating coming out of retirement to fight AJ, and you guessed it, it'll probably be on Riyadh season, or probably be facilitated through Big Turk. So they'll probably be paying him again. But you're saying that you didn't win because they didn't want to pay you? That doesn't even make sense. Like, what are we doing? I mean, you just sound goofy. You just sound idiotic. You sound stupid. So yeah, I don't understand that, man. But anyway, you know, people just be talking, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. But moving on, man. To other news before we get into the review of this past weekend's fights. We got Eddie Hearn, man. We gonna stay with our UK brethren. We got Eddie Hearn having an interview. I don't remember what platform the interview was on. I want to say IFL or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me though. But anyway, it wasn't about where he was at or who he said it to. It was about what he said. He claims that they made another offer to Brian Norman Jr. And I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if he made an offer or not. I don't know if Brian Norman thought the offer was sufficient or not. But I just need them both to just
Shut up, bitch! Oh my God!
I just think that, man, it's getting ridiculous, bro. Like, either y'all gonna fight or y'all not gonna fight. Like, I'm not interested in Days of Our Lives. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not interested in Young and the Restless. I'm not interested in Bold and the Beautiful, Guiding Light, General Hospital, whatever other soap opera you could come up with. I don't want to watch a reality TV show about boxing. I don't want to watch a soap opera about boxing. I don't want to watch. Well, I do like some. I'm about to say I don't want to watch a movie about boxing, but that's not true. I like Rocky. I like Creed. I like Hurricane. I like Muhammad Ali. You know, Ali. You know, so I do like boxing movies. But the point of what I'm saying is that I don't want to know about. The highlight of the fights should be the fight, not the gosh dang, like, this is not even build up at this point. This is just drama, you know, it's like drama TV, bro. Like, so Eddie Hearn said that they made another offer to Brian Norman Jr., which I'm not saying that they didn't. And I'm not saying that Brian Norman is telling the truth or Eddie Hearn's telling the truth or whoever's lying. I'm saying I don't care, bro. Like, y'all shut up until y'all fight, man. Just shut the hell up, man. Brian Norman don't say nothing about Jerron Boots Ennis. Jerron Boots Ennis don't say nothing about Brian Norman Jr. Y'all just do your own thing until y'all ready to fight, bro. Like, for me, And I know it's just me, you know, a lot of people like to pick sides, you know, because that's what boxing is about, man. It's like, oh, I like this guy, so I can't like this guy, or I like this person, so I'm compelled not to like this person. I don't care about that, man. I just care about fights. When I see people constantly bickering and going back and forth about contracts and negotiations that I'm not involved in, it just gets annoying, and it makes me feel like both y'all lying. And I don't like liars. I do not like liars. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, Eddie Hearn said that they reached out to Brian Norman again. For Brian, everybody knows that Brian Norman is not finalized, but they're likely going to fight Jin Sasaki in Japan. Jin Sasaki is a pretty good contender, a Japanese contender. He's on like an 8 or 9 fight win streak. He's at welterweight. He only has one loss. The only blemish on his record came to Andy Hiroka, and that was at 140. Now he's at 147, right? So he came and challenged Brian Norman after Brian Norman successfully defended his belt for the first time that he won off of Giovanni Santillan. He successfully defended his belt against Derek Cuevas, you know, a Puerto Rican fighter, right? And he did very good, man. He got socked pretty good too, and suffered. He had a little stanky leg, did a little two-step, but then he recovered and he dropped Derek Cuevas in the third round, right? And it was over with. Just Sasaki put out a challenge to him, you know, a very respectful challenge, and Brian Norman has seemingly agreed. So they're gonna go to Japan, you know, and he's gonna defend his title against a contender, Just Sasaki, and Just Sasaki is looking to become the first Japanese champion, the Japanese fighter, the first champion in the welterweight division of Japanese descent. So that's what he's trying to do, man. Just Sasaki is a good offensive fighter, but his defense, to me, he reminds me kind of like Jaime Munguia. You know what I always say about Jaime Munguia. I like Jaime Munguia, very high-powered offense, but he blocks with his face. Just Sasaki's defense is not the best, so I think Brian Norman takes full advantage of that. However, Just Sasaki can hit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's impossible. It definitely, it's a good fight, you know, while it lasts. But I think Brian Norman beats him. But you just never know, man. I definitely can't count him out. I would say percentile speaking on percentages, I would say it's probably like 70-30 in favor of Brian Norman. I would say the champion, the WBO champion, the American WBO champion. But it's a good fight. But anyway, Eddie Hearn thinks that Brian Norman is going to win. I think the majority of the boxing world would agree with me that Brian Norman will win as well. And they said that they made an offer to Brian Norman after the Just Sasaki fight. And Brian Norman's response was what I think is appropriate. He said, we're not entertaining or thinking about anything until we're done with the Just Sasaki fight. What's wrong with that answer? That's a perfect answer. Even Canelo said, I'm not thinking about Terrence Crawford. We all knew Terrence Crawford and Canelo were going to fight, right? We all knew it was going to be cinnamon versus Bud. Bud with the cinnamon. You know what I'm talking about? For my smokers out there, that sounds like a pretty good mix. You know, I don't smoke, I don't indulge, I don't drink or smoke, but you know, cinnamon Bud sound kind of, at least gonna smell good. But anyway, we all knew it was gonna be cinnamon and Bud, but Canelo didn't talk about it until after he beat William Skull. He said, hey man, you know, he even told Turk, he said, I got to take care of Skull. That's what I'm focused on. That's always the appropriate answer, because if you look past your opponent, that's what they say. They say, oh, you're not focused, you're looking past your opponent. But then if you don't focus on your opponent and you entertain other fights in the future, then they say, oh, you're scared. So basically Eddie Hearn's trying to imply that Brian Norman Jr. is scared to fight Boots because he's not entertaining any offers until they're done with the Just Sasaki fight. Now, I would understand. I kind of, even with that being said, I understand it from Eddie Hearn's perspective, because now you're probably growing frustrated, right? But I'm growing frustrated with Eddie Hearn. Like, stop coming out and making the controversy. Like, now you making it seem like you need Brian Norman. You see what I'm saying? And of course, I think Boots should go for undisputed, and that's obviously what he wants to do. So obviously he does need the WBO champion in Brian Norman. He also needs Mario Barrios too. But why aren't you saying that you made an offer to Barrios? Oh, but Barrios is fighting Pacquiao, who's currently in a Senate race in the Philippines. So which one do you think is more... Which fight is closer to being finalized? I would say the Brian Norman Just Sasaki fight. So why would you even make an offer to somebody who has a fight coming up and not focus on the guy who could be fighting a retired fighter in Pacquiao? So my point is that now it just seems like funny, like you're targeting Brian Norman to try to assassinate his character. You see what I'm saying? It just seems kind of disingenuous. Like it's getting annoying, like I said. But at the same time too, on the flip side, Brian Norman Sr., he's annoying as well, because he came out and said that if Boots doesn't fight him, he said, Boots,
Nigga, you's a bitch.
He literally said that if Boots doesn't fight him next after he unified with Stanionis for the WBA title, you know, the American champion Jaron Boots Ennis had the IBF, and then the Lithuanian champion Mighty Stanionis had the WBA. Once Boots beat him, Brian Norman Sr. said, "Oh, if you don't fight us next, you're a bitch." But then when Boots finished fighting him, you telling me after you successfully defend your belt, you go fight Jin Sasaki. So by your own logic, is your son a bitch? Because you're not trying to fight Boots next? Because that's what I literally watched an interview where you said that verbatim. You said if Boots and them don't fight us after beating Stanionis, then there's some bitches. So does the same logic apply to you? Because after you successfully defended against Derek Cuevas, you're obviously not entertaining Boots, you're entertaining Jin Sasaki, and your reasoning was that you're trying to build your son's profile, which makes sense. I think that's a smart thing to do. Go to Japan. However, based off your words, you're contradicting yourself, and I can't defend you now because you talk too much. That's why sometimes it's so, hey man, they say that, right? Don't they say sometimes the wise is not even about how smart you are. It's just about keep your freaking mouth shut. Just shut up sometimes, bro. Just shut up. That's all you got to do, bro. And I could defend you all day. But you come out here running your gosh dang mouthpiece, bumping your gums. Now you look crazy. You gonna call somebody a coward for not fighting you next. And then you don't even make yourself available to fight next. And now Eddie Hearn's coming out talking about they want to fight you next after Jin Sasaki, and you're not entertaining it. You see, so both of y'all, to me, I think they both look goofy. They look like a bunch of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, they both look like a bunch of schoolgirls. That's how they arguing. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous, man. Y'all either fight or just shut up. Fight or not. That's it. There's nothing more. Just fight or don't. 913 says right now boxers looking for the next fight to make us wait. I'm telling you, we got our booger in the building. Salutations, my brother. We got 2-4 in the building. Big members in the building. Keenan Lofton, what it do? He said, yeah, Senior confused me with that. He a bitch if he not going to fight us next, but we might not be his next fight. Thank you. Thank you, 2-4. I was like, what are we talking about, bro? You know, and you know me, I'm always going to defend the fighters primarily, you know, like when people be on fighters' head tops and be like, oh, you know, oh, they turned down this amount of money. It's like, bro, you're not a financial advisor. And even if you are a financial advisor, you're not his financial advisor. You're not his manager. You're not his you're not running his marketing team. So I don't knock a fighter for their valuation of themselves. If they feel like a fight is not meeting their price point, who am I to tell them how much money they deserve? That's out of my that's out of my jurisdiction. You see what I'm saying? I'm not qualified to do that. Nor am I, you know, say I'm just not there to pocket watch. That's not something I want to do. But it seems like there's a whole bunch of pocket watchers on gosh dang YouTube.
Don't speak on how they pay you, because pocket watching us men shouldn't do, and that's just by nature. But thank you.
So it's just, but at the same time, when you come out and you loose with the lips, and you talk about this person is a B word for not fighting you next, and then you don't even make yourself available to be fought next. I mean, you just look a little silly. You know what I'm saying? I can't help you there. He said, 913 says, I hate how everyone is letting Barrios skate by without even mentioning unification. Yeah, well, I mentioned it a couple times, but I will say this about Barrios, though, in my personal opinion. Mario Barrios, you don't turn down Pacquiao. That's basically all I can say. All I can say, 913. That's all I can say. You know, we got to understand that this is prize fighting. Barrios, I think Barrios is overdue for a meaningful fight. You know, whether he's fighting a Shakram Giashov, who's a top contender, or he's fighting a unification ideally, right? Whether it's Brian Norman or Jaron Boots Ennis, he definitely needs to fight a unification. However, I give Barrios the same pass I gave Brian Norman, the same pass I gave Stanionis. All of them said that Eddie Hearn and Bakhram, in regards to Jaron Boots and his team, they weren't offered a fair amount of money to fight Boots. Barrios said that with his trainer, Bob Santos. Brian Norman said that, and in so many words, he just went around YouTube going on a negotiation tour. And then also Stanionis said it. He said it twice. So I don't think that they're lying. You know what I'm saying? However, you know, Stanionis ended up fighting him because if you look at the economics of it, Stanionis was offered the most amount of money. You know, he was offered more money than Brian Norman. Excuse me. He ended up getting more money than Brian Norman was offered. So when people say, "Oh yeah, well Stanionis fought him," it's like, yeah, but Stanionis was also offered the most money. So maybe if Stanionis was offered this, or maybe Brian Norman was offered the same amount of money that Stanionis ended up getting, maybe he would have fought him too. So I do got to give him that leeway. However, you know, with Mario Barrios, now if Stanionis fight comes, then I mean, and same with Brian Norman. Like, I wouldn't be mad at Brian Norman taking the Jin Sasaki fight if he didn't say what he said before. You know, that's why sometimes you just keep your mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? And then with Barrios, so since a fight happened, I don't blame him going for Pacquiao. You don't give up Pacquiao. You know, that's a legend. You know, and it's gonna be a lucrative deal. And you know, it is prize fighting. I don't like the fight. You know, I think Pacquiao gonna get smoked, but I understand it, you know, say from a money standpoint. However, after this Pacquiao fight, if Barrios wins, which I think he is, even though Pacquiao's one of my favorite fighters, he's a legend, but I'm not delusional. I think people that think Pacquiao's gonna win they're a little bit deluded. But I do think that after this fight with Barrios and Pacquiao, if Barrios doesn't get a meaningful fight, hopefully unification, then I think that I'm gonna be very critical of him. I'm not gonna lie. And I like Mario Barrios a lot. He said that was not fair and his nasty work. Yeah, though it's not fair and his nasty work. Barrios at WBC, if we look at the rankings, most of them guys were busy. Right. Exactly, Oscar. Exactly. You don't turn down the old, you don't turn down the old Pacquiao. hey, you don't turn down the old Pacquiao. I mean, look, let's keep it funky, right? Bam Rodriguez was trying to fight Chocolatito. Now I know Oscar's old. I know Manny Pacquiao's older than Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, but you got to understand it. Like, these are legends, so it makes sense monetarily. It might not make sense from a skill and a competitive standpoint, but you know, it does kind of make sense. But we do, like me, I want Bam Rodriguez to fight Puma Martinez, who just beat Kazuta Ioka. I want him to fight Fumuledi Cafu, like he's scheduled to fight July 19th. You know, Galore Willing, the South African WBO champion at 115. So we'll see how it goes, man. But I do understand when guys want to fight. I mean, look at Rolly. Rolly talking about he want to fight Pacquiao. You know, so we understand it. Do I like it? No, but you know, I mean, that don't mean I got to be oblivious to the justification for it, you know. But yeah, man. So yeah, Eddie Hearn talking about making Norman another offer, and I just ain't trying to hear it, man. He's getting played. Now, one more thing before we get to the fights, man. One more thing before we get to the fights. Oh, I forgot to mention Puma Martinez. Hold on, give me a second, chat. One more thing before we get to the fights now. All right, one more thing before you get to the fights this weekend. Shushu Carrington, man. Bruce Shushu Carrington. You know, he's a 126-pound contender. Don't forget to smack that like button for your boy. I appreciate it. Bruce Shushu Carrington. That really helps the channel grow, man. So smack that like button, man. Speaking of growth, I got some good news, man. Hey, shout out, bro. Shout out to everybody, man. But yeah, Bruce Shushu Carrington, I was reading an interview, and he's Bruce Shushu Carrington is once again saying that Team Espinosa doesn't want no parts of him. You know, Espinosa, who was a WB, what belt does he have? WBO? We got a lot of WBO moving, ain't it? What Bob orders. Yeah, on Top Rank. So we got Espinosa, who's a WBO champion at 126. We have Nick Ball, who's a WBA champion, 126. Angelo Leo, who's an IBF champion, the American, he'll be fighting his Japanese mandatory, Tomoki Kameda. That's he's the IBF champion. Angelo Leo, and then the WBC champion Stephen Fulton, the American Stephen Fulton, right? So you know, you would think that Espinosa would be the easiest champion for Shushu to get, because they're both on Top Rank, so that'd be the easiest fight to facilitate. But Bruce Shushu Carrington, which I did not believe him, he has been saying that the champions don't want to fight him, and he said that he's asked about Rafael Espinosa multiple times and they don't respond. I didn't really quite believe him, but at the same time, now he said it again, and I'm starting to kind of believe him. But I will say this. I personally believe Divino's the best at 126. Just because I think you're the best doesn't mean that you're not ducking somebody. However, I do think that Divino probably wants to prioritize unifications from what I've seen and what I hear him talk. And maybe Bruce Shushu Carrington is just an unnecessary risk right now, or maybe he's just an unnecessary fight. Maybe not even an unnecessary risk. Maybe it's just an unnecessary fight. But that does kind of confuse me. It's like, why wouldn't that fight happen or be entertained? Now, people do bluff. But I just, you know, and just because you say something passionately with conviction and loudly and repeatedly doesn't make it any more true. However, I haven't really seen too much on the other side saying otherwise or shooting down his allegations of being ignored or ducked, right? To be fair, I don't think that Shushu. I think the one that he can beat is Nick Ball. But I think Angelo Leo, from what I've seen of Bruce Shushu Carrington, I think that'd be a good fight, but I'll lean towards Leo. I think Stephen Fulton would be a decent fight, but I'll lean towards Fulton. And Divino, I think Divino beats them all. But I think if Nick Ball, if he's not allowed to use some roughhouse tactics like he's accustomed to doing, I think Shushu Carrington could probably beat him. But my point is that I don't know who's ducking Shushu, but at the same time too, I do know there's 4 champions that I just named, and maybe they are looking for unifications, and you know, Shushu's not a champion, so maybe he is being avoided, man. I don't know, you know. I'm seeing it a lot lately, and he could be telling the truth, man. He could necessarily be, he could just be telling the truth, but I don't think that is because any of the champions are afraid per se. I just think maybe it's just that he doesn't really make sense to fight right now. But I don't know. We'll see, man. But yeah, let's move it on to this weekend, man. My guy says Puma versus Bam. We need that. Yes. So let's start off with Puma Martinez versus Kazuta Ioka for that rematch. That fight was great. It was on Saturday night. Well, technically Sunday morning, but it came on late after the Top Rank and after the Pro Box cards, right? Jitterbug says, think Ball is too much for him without more experience. Nick Ball for Chushu. You might be right. You might be right. I'm not big on Nick Ball, to be honest, Jitterbug. I think Nick Ball gets away with a lot of roughhouse tactics. I think he's more of like no disrespect to him. I'm just telling you what I observe, what I think. I think he's more of a glorified club fighter. You know, I think he's a strong guy with a low center of gravity. He does throw a lot, you know, but he also throws other things too, like his weight around. Like look what he did to what's his name, Ronnie Rios. He was just pushing them all over the place. I mean, he literally kicked TJ Doheny and didn't get any points deducted, right? You would think there'll be more outrage, right? Because we get mad when referees miss calls. But yeah, I've never been impressed with Nick Ball's skills or abilities. I think he's a pressure fighter. I think he can overwhelm you, and I think he could get rough. He's a physical fighter, but other than that, as far as skill set goes, I've never been impressed. I think his name fits him, Nick the Wrecking Ball. That's how I think he approaches fights. I think he approaches it with little tact, a little strategy. He just goes in there and tries to be a wrecking ball, which has been working for him. He's a champion, you know, can't knock him for it. But when I try to break it down analytically and assess who's the better champions, I definitely think he's the worst one at 126. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, he's just the weakest champion relative to the other champions, but that doesn't mean he's a weak fighter. You know, shout out to him. You know, shout out to Nick Ball though. But yeah, and you might be right. Maybe Nick Ball beats Shushu. Like I said, I could see that. I just think that if the referee is a little bit more is more of a stickler to the rules, then I think that he'll get called for a lot of fouls. And if he gets called for a lot of fouls or somehow gets deterred from being rough, I think it could be a long night for him, you know, against anybody. But yeah. Is it Shushu mandatory now? Yeah, let's look. He's in top 5 of all of the rankings. Let's look it up real quick before we move on to Puma Martinez. He's in top 5 of all of the rankings, bro. WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF. I'm gonna pull it up right now. We can look at it together. 126. Let's look at it together. 126. Yeah. So Angelo Leo, IBF, he's ranked number 4. Bruce Shushu Carrington. WBA, he's ranked number 2. WBC, he's ranked number 1. WBO, he's ranked number 1. So he's top 5 in all of them. You know, 1 in WBC, WBO, 2 in the WBA, and 4 in the IBF. Of course, like I said, Tomoki Kameda, the Japanese mandatory, is fighting Angelo Leo in Japan. Nick Ball doesn't have anything lined up. I don't believe he has a mandatory that's been ordered. Stephen Fulton to Ray Vargas, we'll see how that goes. But he's number 1 for the WBC, but I don't think he's been ordered. Don't quote me on that. I know, matter of fact, I know he hasn't been ordered because remember, Stephen Fulton and Oshiki Foster, they have been entertaining that fight. So he might be number 1, but has he been the ordered mandatory? You know, those are 2 different things. And I guess Espinosa, I'm not sure. I don't think he's an ordered mandatory here either, because I think Espinosa, who was his last, not his last fight, but his fight before that, was that rematch with what's my boy's name? Robesi Ramirez, right? I think that was a mandatory. Don't quote me. I think that rematch was a mandatory. So I think he may not have a mandatory up either, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I don't think he's. I definitely don't think he's been an ordered mandatory. Matter of fact, I know he's not an ordered mandatory, but he is in the number 1 position. You are right, Albuga. Omari was good. Shushu definitely need a title fight. I agree. He needs a title opportunity. Will he win though, Jitterbug? I personally don't think so. No disrespect, I'm just not sure. Yo, shout out to my guy Ty in the building. Hey, yeah, you should have had a point taken for kicking that man. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. I laughed. When he kicked TJ Doheny, I laughed. But it was, you know what I'm saying? What the heck was that, bro? What are we doing? He said if there was any truth to Shushu Nage Espinosa, that he needs to take that up with the top rank. But yeah, laugh loud. But I think he already knows that fight isn't going to be made. I agree, Ty. I agree. Shushu already know he's lined up for a fight for WBC belt after Fulton versus Foster. Right. That's what I think too. Exactly. That's what I think too. So he said, Booker, he has to be ordered mandatory. He in position to be ordered though. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he's been ordered at all. But yeah, man. So shout out to Shushu though. You know, shout out to my guy Omari in the building. Omari loves Shushu. So no Shushu slander, but I got to be honest. I don't see Shushu really beating any of the champions right now. I think his best bet would be against Nick Ball, in my personal opinion. But I think El Divino is the best one. I think that'd be his worst chance of winning would be against the WBO champion, the Mexican champion, Rafael Espinosa. All right, so let's move on to the Puma Martinez scorecard, man. Shout out to Fernando Puma Martinez, the Argentine champion. He currently has a WBA belt. He fought Kazuta Ioka, the Japanese contender, right, former champion. When they fought the first time, it was a unification for the IBF belt, Puma Martinez IBF belt, and Kazuta Ioka's WBA belt. That saw Puma Martinez win by a pretty wide margin. Now they had the rematch, right? And in order to have the rematch, Puma Martinez decided not to fight his IBF mandatory and pursued a more lucrative fight against Kazuta Ioka. And I'm not mad at that. Remember, we were talking about that earlier. That's what consistency is. I'm very consistent. I'm not mad at a fighter giving up a belt for a more lucrative deal. I mean, boxing is a business at the end of the day. You know, it's a sport and it's about competition and legacy. But, you know, sometimes you do make the better business decision. And Kazuta Ioka is a former champion and he's a good champion. I didn't think that really the rematch was necessary because I thought Puma Martinez won comfortably in the first fight. And I also think he won comfortably in the second fight. Now, but I see a lot of people complaining about the wideness of the scorecard. Let me tell you what my scorecard was. Let me tell you what my scorecard was for Puma Martinez versus Kazuta Ioka. I scored it 9 rounds to 3 for a score of 116-111. You know, and while I understand, like, I'm gonna bring up the scorecards here that they had for the fight. I thought it was a good, entertaining fight, but to me, and y'all let me know what y'all think. I thought the fight was a good, entertaining fight, but Kazuta Ioka was just slow. Everything he did was slower than Puma Martinez, and everything Puma Martinez threw was hard and strong and with intensity. You know, I thought that I gave Martinez rounds 1 through 7, all to Martinez. There were close fights. The third round could have been a swing round. That could have went for Ioka, in my opinion. But Ioka didn't win a round until the 8th round for me. He didn't win a round, and then he won another round in the 9th round, and then the 10th round he dropped Puma Martinez, which I scored 10-8, you know. But then the 11th round, I thought it was a very close round. Could have went to Ioka, but I gave it to Martinez. And the 12th round, I gave to Martinez as well. So my scorecard was 9 rounds to 3 for a score of 116-111 in favor of Martinez. One of the scorecards had it 117-110, which is, that sounds crazy, but I had a 116-111. Another scorecard had a 115-112. And remember, I told you I had 2 swing rounds. So if I gave those 2 swing rounds to Ioka, then I have this scorecard, the 115-112. You see what I'm saying? And then you got, or I give one of them rounds, you get what I'm saying? If I give one of them rounds to him, I get that scorecard. And if I give 2 of the rounds to him, I get this scorecard, the 114-113. So my point is this, man. My point is that the judges scored it unanimously for Puma Martinez. So yes, the scorecards are slightly different, but they're not that much different, man. Like, I mean, this one looks kind of crazy, 117-110. But like I said, I feel like I'm very fair, and I scored a 116-111. So my scorecard was right between these two. And it's not like it was a split decision or a majority decision, bro. It was a unanimous decision. So even no matter how close it was, they still had it for the right person, in my personal opinion. And I do think scorecards matter, but sometimes I think the uproar is a little disingenuous. Kazuta Ioka, there's no way he won that fight in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If you watch that fight, there's no way you can score for him. I will say that Kazuta Ioka, I don't think he needs to retire. I know he's an older champion. He's a good fighter. But he showed me he still has a hell of a chin, man. Oh, man, he was taking some shots. Either Puma Martinez doesn't hit as hard as I think he does, or Kazuta Ioka got a mean chin on him. But I thought it was a good fight, very entertaining fight. I thought Puma Martinez won, you know. So I just think the uproar about the scorecard is kind of ridiculous. I haven't seen anybody say that they had Ioka winning. Now, it does matter, though, if you're going to get a rematch. You know, this is when the scorecards matter. Like, so, for example, my guy, Oscar and Ryan Fraser, Big Nolf, you know, was on this channel talking with Irony last night about the David Benavidez Dave Morrell card. And I did complain about one of those scorecards because one of those scorecards had David Benavidez slaughtering and washing David Morrell. And I think that's bad because that was a close fight. To me, it was close enough to justify a rematch. But if you have it 118, 110 or something like that, then it makes it seem like one guy was so dominant that you don't need a rematch. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where it's a problem, because I thought that was a close fight, have a rematch. But this right here, this right here, like Cat Williams say, this was already a rematch. And the first fight was wide. You know, let me bring it up again. Let me bring that back up again for y'all real quick. The first fight, to me, I don't even think that this justified a rematch, like I said before. The first fight was scored Puma Martinez. The first fight was 117, 111. 120, 108, 116, 112, all in favor of Puma Martinez. And then the second fight was 115, 112, 117, 110, 114, 113. I scored at 116, 112. Like, come on, bro. It's already the rematch. He got smoked in the first one, and he got beat pretty handily in the second one as well. So it's like, that's why I kind of feel like this is kind of they're dragging it out, man. Let it go, man. He lost. Puma Martinez he's just a better fighter when it comes to them too. It doesn't mean he's a better overall fighter, but he's just a better fighter between the two of them. And so I just think I thought it was a good fight. I don't think there was anything to complain about. But he said Timberwolves at 5. Yo, shout out to my guy Oster in the building. He said, Doc, so you just gonna throw me out there like that? The good brother. Saw your video, man. I need some type of payment for my contributions. Hey, nah, Oster, I appreciate that, man. That's a fact. Shout out to my guy Oster, man. He's talking about the short video I made. I put you in a couple videos. That's how I know you don't be watching the videos. Which I'm not complaining. You know, shout out to y'all. Y'all showed me so much love. I'm not complaining at all. But I did put a video. Remember that? Is this your king? I put that clip in. I mean, I used that clip before anyway, before I even knew you. But I used that clip recently when you dropped it in the Discord. And you didn't notice, so I know you ain't watched the video, but it's all good though. Grand Rising to the doctor in chat, man. Grand Rising Team Slime, man. That's good, my brother. Big Oster in the building though, man. OG Oster. Ioka got a chin tie. Oh my goodness, he was taking some shots. And that's one thing I want to say about Puma Martinez, man. Oscar dropped this in the chat earlier, and I agree with my boy. You know, I usually agree with my brother anyway, but I definitely agree with him on this. Man, can you imagine Puma versus Bam? That's a good fight, man. And no disrespect to the South African champion Fumaledi Cafu, who Bam Rodriguez is supposed to be fighting. You know, it's supposed to have a unification between the WBC and WBO belt at 115 in Frisco, Texas, July 19th. Good Lord willing. That's a good fight day too, because that's the same day that Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois having their rematch for undisputed in Wembley. You know what I'm saying? So we have a fight, man. That's gonna be a good day of boxing. Good Lord willing. So we have two unifications at the heavyweight division, and then another unification at the bantamweight, you know, from heavyweight to 115. So that's pretty good. But Fumaledi Cafu, first of all, I think that Bam Rodriguez, in my personal opinion, is the best at 115. However, I don't care what I think. I need to see it. You need to prove it. I'm a huge proponent for you having to prove it. Like, y'all know I love Junto. Junto's one of my favorite fighters, right? I think Junto's the best at 118, bantamweight, super bantamweight, excuse me. No, bantamweight. Yeah, bantamweight's 118. Junior bantamweight's 115, excuse me. So bantamweight, I think Junto Nakatani's the best. But Junto Nakatani only has one belt. He has a WBC belt, right? Ryosuke Nishida has an IBF belt. Seiya Susumi has a WBA belt. And Yoshiki Takei has a WBO belt. And they're all undefeated while being champions. So I cannot definitively say Junto's the best. I feel like that's disrespectful. I can tell you I think he's the best. I can tell you why I think he's the best, but I would never just say, oh yeah, he's better than those other guys. No, you got to prove it. You got to prove that you rule your domain. You know what I'm saying? We got to see that you deserve some champagne with your campaign. You know what I'm saying? And conquer your domain. So I love the fact that he's getting a unification fight with Ryosuke Nishida, so he could be on his way to prove that he's the best. You know, so same with 115. Puma Martinez, he was unified. He had the IBF and the WBA belt. Like I said, he recently vacated the IBF to pursue a more lucrative rematch with Kazuta Ioka. So he has a WBA belt, undefeated. Fumaledi Cafu, the South African champion, he has a WBO belt. When he beat, who did he beat again? Was it Kosei Tanaka? I believe it was KO Tanaka. He's undefeated. And then, of course, we have Bam Rodriguez, who's undefeated. So I think Bam Rodriguez is the best American champion, but I can't just put him over the Argentinian champion or Argentine champion and Puma Martinez or the South African champion Fumaledi Cafu. But for me and my sensibilities, first of all, I love upsets. So if Fumaledi Cafu could beat Bam Rodriguez, that'd be a hell of an upset. However, For a more exciting fight, oh man, I want Puma and Bam, bro. Puma and Bam, that's gonna be a good fight while it lasts. I think Bam wins because I think he's more skillful. But gosh dang, bro, I'm talking about like Puma Martinez. He reminds me of when I used to fight in the amateurs. My trainer, he would always say every punch, even a jab, should black an eye, bust a lip, or break a nose. I feel like that's how Fernando Martinez fights. Bro, every punch is thrown hard, thrown with bad intentions, like Jermaine Taylor. That was one of my favorite fighters, Jermaine Taylor. So my guy Jitterbug says, do you think Japan has the least corruption in judges? Haven't heard too many crazy robberies there or judging, at least for their own fighters. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think, me personally, Jitterbug, I personally believe the Japan Boxing Commission is the best. From my observations, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at Louis Neary, right? I wasn't a big fan of that fight for Naoya Inoue as far as competitively speaking, but I know historically speaking, with the implications that it has on the country with Louis Neary cheating Yamanaka, that fight, you know, they let up the ban, they uplifted the ban so Naoya Inoue could put the beats on him. That's like some movie type stuff, you know what I'm saying? You can make a movie or an anime out of that, right? That storyline is dope. You know, he avenged his countryman, right? A former champion, Yamanaka. But the reason why I bring that up is because what happened to Louis Neary? Why was he suspended indefinitely? Because he cheated, right? He came in overweight, and another time he was on PEDs. There was no uproar about Louis Neary being banned. There was no riot in the streets or on Twitter or on social media defending him, right? He broke the rules. He was reprimanded for it. John Rio Casimero, shout out to JRC, right? I like Casimero, the Filipino fighter. But he came in overweight by 1 pound against Saul Sanchez, the American fighter. But the fight took place where? In Japan. He came in over 1 pound and he got banned for a year. I'm not saying that that's not harsh, but my point is at least that they abide by the rule. They make sure that the fighters abide by the rules and they adhered by the rules, and there's no uproar. There's no public opinion. It's, if you broke the rule, bitch, you getting banned, or you getting suspended, or you getting reprimanded, or whatever the case may be. So yes, not just the judges. I also think that the commission is better in Japan. Like, I feel like, look what happened when Ryan Garcia cheated, right? People are still, the freaking idiots are still out here talking about Ryan Garcia didn't cheat or PEDs don't matter because they like him. What does it matter if you like somebody or not? That doesn't change the fact that he had PEDs in the system. If Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney happened in Japan, Ryan Garcia would probably still be banned for 2 years. He'd probably still be banned right now, excuse me. A year? Yeah, right. John Rio Casimero got a year for missing 1 pound. He fought Saul Sanchez at 122. He came in at 123. He got banned for a year. Ryan Garcia came in overweight by 3 pounds and he was on PEDs. He probably wouldn't be able to fight it till 2035 if it was if it was in Japan. So yes, I do think that Japan is better. As far as the judges, sometimes things happen, but I think Japan's pretty good with judges too. Yeah, he said if you're a visiting fighter, you have to score a knockout in Japan to get a draw. He said, hey, Petro said, if you're a visiting fighter, you have to score a knockout in Japan to get a draw. That's not true, bro. We just saw Puma Martinez fight this weekend. He didn't get a knockout. He beat Kazuta Ioka twice, right? He just fought him this weekend, bro. So that's not true, Petro. That's funny though. He said, do you agree with that philosophy? What, Booger? What philosophy, bro? My bad. I be talking a lot, bro. My bad. Oh, about the every punch, even a jab, should black an eye, bust a lip, or break a nose. I think it's good. Depends on your level, Albuga. Like, I think that's good in like the amateurs. I think it's good while you're like at Abdullah Mason's level. You know what I'm saying? But once you get to like a championship level, I don't think that is necessarily good, because I think you could be utilizing too much energy and you mess around and get tired. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that if you're fighting Bivol, every punch, a fighter like Bivol, because of his agility and his movement, you might whiff a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you know what takes the most energy, Ty? What punch uses the most energy? The punch that you throw that misses. It takes more energy to miss than it does to hit. You know, that's what everybody knows, that, right? You know, the fundamentals of boxing. So if you're throwing everything hard and you're missing, let's say you're fighting Shakur and you're throwing everything hard and you're missing, then you're gonna be tired as hell by the 5th round, and you're gonna get jabbed to death. You know, so I think it's good. Depends on what level you're at. Like, you know, like I said, I was just an amateur, so I think that's good for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to punch through you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to punch through your helmet and all that stuff. But I think once you get to a point where everybody's good, everybody's skillful, I think you got to employ a little bit more strategy, a little bit more tact. You got to reserve some of your energy. So I think it's good to a certain point, Al Booger, in my personal opinion. What do you think? If you love upsets, you're about to get one. So hold tight. September 12th, you have the upset of your life. Just saying. That's fake news, bro.
If you out here getting fake vagina over your fake jury, reality is reality.
And the reality is, my boy Cinnamon about to put the beats on Bud. He said you out here chucking shots and missing like Buddy Hield. It's crazy. Hey, chill on the Bahamian brethren, man. Chill on the Bahamian brethren, Buddy Hield, man. You know what I'm talking about? Bro, speaking of basketball, Ty, 40? 40 by half? Bro, Indiana was smoking Cleveland, bro. Oster said, word, nah, we gonna see, Oster, we gonna see. Team Slime says, Japan, like Thailand, have a completely different fight culture. They honor warriors and are all about respecting the sport.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's what I think we should all do. You know, I don't care. It doesn't matter who you like. Like I said, I put money on Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney. If anybody should have been mad about him cheating, it should be me. And I am mad, but I'm not mad that he got caught cheating. I'm mad that he was cheating. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. But you should, if you're a boxing fan, you should feel betrayed by any fighter that cheats, whether it's Conor Benn, Ryan Garcia, Jarrell Big Baby Miller, Dennis McCann. It don't matter who it is. Cesar Martinez. It doesn't matter. If you cheat, you should feel betrayed because you're compromising the sanctity, the purity, and the integrity of the sport. Not only that, you're also jeopardizing your dance partner's health. You're already in a combat sport. You're already trying to hurt somebody, but guys, dang, you gonna use the extra ammunition to do it too? You gonna put the extendo clip in that thing? Come on, bro. It's supposed to be fair, bro. That game was crazy. It was 92-49, bro. It was nuts, out booger, nuts. Yeah, no, wait, hold on. Why we said no Diddy? What happened with this? No Diddy. I don't know what was said, but I'm definitely gonna say it.
No Diddy.
No Diddy. I don't know what was said. We gonna CYA. We gonna CYA. But yeah, man. So, but yeah, I would love, you know, me selfishly speaking, and no disrespect to Fumulady Cafu, the South African WBO champion at junior bantamweight 115. I'm hoping that Bam Rodriguez wins, you know what I'm saying, the American WBC champion. And so we can eventually get a unification. And Puma Martinez has called out Bam Rodriguez before. So hopefully we get that fight, man. And it'll be nice to see Bam Rodriguez pursue Undisputed as well, man. Sorry, there's no integrity in sports no more. You ain't lying. Unfortunately, Oster, I feel like you are closer to the truth than further. And that's a sucky part. That's terrible. So yeah, man, shout out to Puma Martinez and Kazuto Ioka, man. They both put on a good show. Both of them are okay. That's all that matters. And yeah, I enjoyed the fights. Do you believe after serving their penalties and are going through an investigation period, the fighters can come back from doping? Yes, absolutely. I mean, look, hey, Team Slime, who's my favorite fighter? One of my favorite fighters ever is Canelo. He's my favorite fighter right now. He had a doping scandal, right, with the clenbuterol, right? Remember when he had the cows, you know what I'm saying, in Mexico, vacas en la Mexico, or not la Mexico, vacas en Mexico, right? He was eating them cows. And he said they had the clenbuterol in it, right? And a lot of people didn't believe him. I was a little skeptical, I'm be honest. I was like, man, that's my guy. I hope he's telling the truth, you know? But I was skeptical, right? Because I mean, I'm a realist as well. But then you know what my boy did? I'm gonna tell you why he's different, Team Slime, and why you can bounce back. You know what my boy did? Same thing Alicia Bumgarner. Shout out to her too as well. You know what they did? They stuck to their story. And not only did they went to prove it in court, they went to the judicial system. They were so confident in their story that they took it to court. And that's why Canelo's suspension went from 18 months to 6 months. Because you do not get a pass for negligence, right? It's accidental, but at least you didn't do it intentionally and your punishment is less harsh. And in addition to that, he never tested positive during the Triple G fight. He failed a random drug test. Ryan Garcia tested positive for the night of the fight. Alicia Bumgarner also did not test positive during the night of the fight, which is why her victory was never overturned either. So a lot of people don't pay attention to the history of boxing. They just go what he say, she say. You know, like the story that you tell. You know, I might tell Oster, hey man, Oster, bro, I got jumped at the light, you know, and I got out unscathed. Then Oster tells Omari, hey man, Doc got jumped at the light, man. They had ninja swords. And then Omari goes and tells Ty, yeah man, Doc got jumped at the light by 40 people. It was a South Korean army. They had ninja swords, machine guns, and he dodged all of them like Neo from the Matrix. So the story goes on and it changes, right, with time, and it gets more exaggerated. And people exaggerate that Canelo cheated Triple G. No, he didn't. He tested positive during the during the training camp, the lead up of the fight. He never had anything in the system against Triple G, and that's why remember the fight was originally scheduled for May, Cinco de Mayo, like most of his fights. It got postponed to September because of the suspension, right? So that's the difference, man. And he went to court and he tested, and they proved, they found that his story, what happened, the evidence corroborated with his story that it was accidental. And then you don't have to believe it. You can say it's a conspiracy theory. I know some people do. That's up to you. But if he takes it to court and they find him innocent of taking it intentionally, then that's cool with me. Same with Alicia Bumgarner. When she took it to court, she stuck with her story, took it to court, and they found her that it was unintentional intake. I'm cool. You know who didn't take it to court? Ryan Garcia. In fact, he settled. Right? Now, settling is not an admission of guilt, but it damn sure ain't a scream of innocence when you settle. You feel what I'm saying? And so it is what it is. And he tested positive during the night of the fight. Neither of the aforementioned champions, Alicia Bumgarner or Canelo, tested positive for the night of the fight. So they didn't have anything in their system when they actually fought. So I do think you can bounce back, you know. Shout out to Conor Ben. He's on that road to redemption. Shout out to Jarrell Big Baby Miller. He's on that road to redemption. But I do think what is a big part of your road to redemption is accountability. Ryan Garcia has not shown any accountability, nor has his delusional, idiotic, simple fans either. So no, I don't think that. I think in fact, they're making it seem like Ryan Garcia is a victim. You know, that's why I don't like it. You feel me? So yeah, I definitely nothing. I mean, we all want forgiveness, right? We all make mistakes. You know, players mess up too. But when you try to make it seem like you are a victim, when you try to victimize somebody else, you can't be the bully and the victim. You know, it is what it is, man. Serve your suspension. Shout out to Everything by John, my guy in the bill. What you think about the Lubin fight? We about to get there. We not there yet. The cows did it. The freaky cows. I know those cows. Like, what the? You rat bastard. Canelo don't even eat beef no more. Yeah, he was a vegetarian, and now he's blaming his diet on why he lost to Bivol. He said, "See, bro, you see, I don't want to get caught. That's why my boy's so trill, man. My boy's so trill, man, like Trill Bill. You feel me? My boy took a vegetarian diet, man. He said, I don't want no more problems. And then messed around and got mollywopped by a guy named Bivol. I said, hey, man, I need to go back to meat. Pause. He said, I need to be on that meat.
No, did he?
Hey, yo. But I would never, hey, if people don't like him because of that, I won't blame anybody. If you don't like him because of that, that's cool. That just works for me. You know what I'm saying? That the fact that procedure, that parliamentary procedure worked for me. Pancho says, these days it seems like everyone is on PEDs. Fighters hit harder while climbing weight. They rehydrate way heavier than what they used to normal, and they don't lose as much speed while climbing weight. Yeah, but I don't believe that, man. I don't want to incriminate an entire group of people based on the actions of a few bad apples. So I don't subscribe to that. But you're right. That's what it looks like, right? She ain't test positive the day before, the day of, or after. Talk to him, Ty. Hold on, my boy about to preach right now. Everybody face forward in your pews. Pastor Ty is approaching the pulpit. He says she ain't test positive the day before,
yeah,
the day of,
yeah,
or the day after,
yeah,
and she had a mishanded sample,
yeah,
that was inconclusive,
yeah,
and the B side,
yeah,
was negative,
yeah,
but folks online,
yeah,
say that she cheated. Come on, man, because they hate you. It's so crazy that people say Alicia Bumgarner cheated. They don't know the quantity. People will say Conor Ben cheated. They don't know the quantity. They will say that Jarrell Big Baby Miller cheated. They don't know the quantity. They say Canelo cheated. They don't know the quantity. Oh, but Ryan Garcia, we know the exact quantity, 60 times the allowable limit. But we question the validity of his test. Come on, bro. I can't get with people that are delusional and irrational and fanatics. You a groupie, and you sound like one of Ryan Garcia hosts. Doc, did you call Canelo a fraud on episode 369? Nah. Now you out here lying and snitching, Omari?
All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
You out here lying and snitching? It's crazy. If you go snitch on me, at least tell the truth. At least let it be something I did. Don't be snitching on me and lying too. That's crazy. But yeah, man, moving on, man. Puma Martinez scorecard. I thought it was straight, man. Hopefully Puma Martinez and Bam Rodriguez fights. But if Puma Lady Cafu beats Bam, hey, let's get that Puma Lady Cafu and Puma Martinez popping, man. Let's get that popping, man. But let's move on to Kakashi. We're gonna say the best fight, what I considered I ain't gonna say the best fight, because Kazuta Ioka Puma Martinez was good. I would say the most interesting fight to me was Lubin and Arjun Holmes. So we're gonna save that one for last. So let's go to Kakasi versus Leigh Wood, right? Anthony Kakasi versus Leigh Wood. He was the IBF champion at the 130-pound division, right? That would be super featherweight, right? Or junior lightweight, whatever you want to call it, right? Same thing. Kakasi talked about. No, I didn't talk about that. We're about to talk about that, Jitterbug. We did not talk about Navarrete and Suarez. We're about to get to that. Actually, we're going to save that one for last. My bad. We're going to save that one for last. We're going to hit the Lubin next, and then we're going to talk about that one last. That's definitely the best one. Kakasi called out O'Shaquie Foster after beating Leigh Wood. Okay. This is my problem with that, right? Shout out to Anthony Kakasi. But everybody knows Anthony Kakasi vacated that IBF belt because he didn't want to fight his mandatory in Edward Sugar Nunes, which is cool. Edward Sugar Nunes is fighting Rikishi for a vacant belt, for the IBF vacant belt at 130 pounds. Cool, no problem. You want to pursue a more lucrative fight in Leigh Wood? I get it. Cool, that's a bigger fight in the UK than Sugar Nunes would have been. However, no disrespect to Leigh Wood, but I do think that Sugar Nunes would have been a more formidable opponent. And I think that having a belt when you're somebody like Anthony Kakasi affords you more leverage in negotiations. So this is my point, right? He vacated his belt in January, right? His IBF belt back in January to chase big fights. That's what he said. I'm not mad at that. He said, hey, man, at this point in my career, being a champion is cool, but I want to chase the big fights, you know? And he mentioned he wanted to fight Tank, and now he's mentioning after he beat Leigh Wood that he wants to fight O'Shaquie Foster. However, I don't want to hear nothing about you calling out anybody, especially not a champion, if you just vacated your belt. Don't you think it would have been easier to facilitate a fight with another champion if you were also a champion? Don't you think it would have happened expeditiously if you would have won and kept your belt and then called out a champion? Don't you think a unification looks a little better than now you just challenging for O'Shaquie Foster's WBC belt? Don't you think that? I think that. I could be wrong, but I think that. Don't y'all think that, chat? Don't you think it would have afforded you a little bit more leverage if you were a champion calling out the other champions? So, you know, it's crazy because O'Shaquie Foster, his last fight was against Robson Kasesa. That was back in November. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that was back in November. Anthony Kakasi fought his last fight before Leigh Wood. He fought him back in September. He didn't vacate his belt until January. So you had all that time. You had all that time to challenge O'Shaquie Foster, but you're challenging Tank. O'Shaquie Foster been free since November. You vacated your belt in January. Why didn't you call out O'Shaquie Foster then? You pursued Leigh Wood. Okay, cool. That's a more lucrative fight. But now you beating Leigh Wood and you know O'Shaquie Foster is in talks with Stephen Fulton and other people, and now you want to call out O'Shaquie Foster? Like, it just seems a little disingenuous to me, you know what I'm saying? So I think it looks a little crazy. I don't mind you calling him out, but call him out when it makes sense and when people are available. Don't hit me with a Janibek. Don't hit me with a Janibek and Limkanuli. Janibek was calling out after Janibek successfully defended his title, right? He was calling out Canelo. He was calling out what's the other dude? He called out somebody else. I can't remember. It was Canelo and somebody else. But anyway, they're both outside of his division. It was either like Diego Pacheco or something like that. I don't remember who it was. But it was, anyway, they're both outside of his division. You weren't calling out Carlos Adames. Now Carlos Adames has a mandatory coming up. And now all of a sudden you're calling out Carlos Adames again. It just looks a little... I think Janibek and Lumkanuli is the best champion at 160. But that looks a little shaky, baby. I ain't gonna lie. It looks a little shaky now. You know what I'm saying? So, same with Anthony Kakasi is like, now you calling out O'Shaquie Foster after you gave up your belt. Now, I get you didn't want to fight Sugar Nunes. I get that because maybe that is justifiable from saying it's not a big money fight. Leigh Wood's bigger. But it just looks a little crazy. Now, all of a sudden, you calling out O'Shaquie Foster after you just vacated your belt. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm sorry. I just don't want to hear it, bro. Like, you get what you get. Maybe go pursue another fight. And if the O'Shaquie Foster fight could happen, that'd be dope, you know? I like that fight, but I don't know. It just looks a little crazy. Top of the morning, Isaiah in the building. Big member in the building. My brother Isaiah in the building, man. Appreciate that Mother's Day message and stuff in the Discord as well. Appreciate you, bro. So yeah, I just thought it looked a little crazy. What's good? William Haney in the building. Trill Bill. He said, did you talk about... No, I didn't talk about that yet. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, man. I thought Kakasi looked a little crazy. But he did beat Leigh Wood, and I think he beat him in the 7th round stoppage. I predicted it was going to be a 9th round stoppage, so I was slightly off. but that was a good fight too in England, man. And then Ezra Taylor fought Troy Jordan, I believe his name was Troy John, something like that. Ezra Taylor looked all right. Malik Scott is his trainer, just like Malik Scott trains Deontay Wilder. He looked all right, you know. We need to step up from Ezra Taylor. We also need to step up from Sam Noakes. Sam Noakes won, but Sam Noakes is like 17-0. We need to step up, man. Tighten up. You get your competition up. But he did say in the summer he's gonna have an announcement, so we'll see. I will say England, UK fans are good too, but they're very good at building their fighters too. You know, because you could be 20-0 in English and we still don't know if you're good or not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure about Sam Noakes. He looks good, but he needs to step up his competition. You know, he looked good this past weekend as well, but he needs to step up. Probably feeling confident being Leigh Wood. That's crazy, vacating your belt and then ask for exactly, Jordan. Thank you, bro. That's crazy. You vacated your belt and then asking for a title fight. What are we talking about? Oscar said Navarrete. Yeah, they both some big guys in their weight. All right, so let's move on to Erickson Lubin versus Murtazaliev, man. And then after this, I will open up the Discord. No, after the Charly Suarez, we're gonna open up the Discord. Erickson Lubin versus Murtazaliev, man. Erickson Lubin for Ardro Holmes, the undefeated American contender at 154, which is the hottest division in my opinion. Erickson Lubin and him fought. That was a good fight, man. I thought Erickson Lubin definitely made a statement. I thought that Ardro Holmes had a good chance of beating Lubin. So I was wrong with that because Erickson Lubin stopped him, you know, and it was a good fight while it lasted. I thought Ardro Holmes didn't fight with as much urgency as he needed to, man. I thought he had the range, and in times he was utilizing his range and his sharpness, you know. But sometimes he just got, I don't know if he thought he was winning or he was worried about Erickson Lubin's power, rightfully so. Obviously he got stopped, but I just thought in spots like he was looking good, but he just wasn't looking good enough. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't looking good for enough moments. Like he would like literally take rounds off and he was losing. Like I think I scored it. Let me see. I scored Erickson Lubin up to the stoppage in the 11th round. I had Lubin winning the first 4 rounds. I had Holmes winning the 5, 6, and 7. And then I had Lubin winning 8, 9, and 10. So it's like Holmes, I remember he took like the 8th and 9th round off. Like, why are you taking the 8th and 9th round off, bro? Like, you're losing. Like, you... I don't know if his trainers was communicated to him that he was losing, because I can't hear the commentary when I'm watching. When I'm providing my own commentary, I don't hear what they're saying. But I don't know why he was fighting like that. He was fighting with a lack of urgency. It gave me Barbosa vibes when Arnold Barbosa was fighting Teofimo, how he just fought with like, he wasn't fighting with enough passion, man. You gave me more passion during the buildup than you actually gave me in the fight. You see what I'm saying? Like you was talking tougher than you was fighting. Both Arnold Barbosa and Ardro Holmes. So I didn't understand that. But shout out to Erickson Lubin, man. I think that this win was very good for him for his bounce back. And puts him right back in the mix. In fact, it was an IBF title eliminator, so he will be fighting the IBF champion, who is Bakhram Murtazaliev, the Eastern European champion, right? That's going to be a tough fight, man, you know. But shout out to Lubin. Lubin has been calling out Murtazaliev. He's ready. He's about that life. The one thing we could say about Erickson the Hammer Lubin, he hasn't ducked any smoke. He's one of those dogs that will fight anybody, even to his own detriment. You know, remember when he fought Charlo? I think he was only like 22 years old. Just to put it in terms that you can relate to, if you will, Xander Zayas is 22 years old right now. Floyd Kid Austin Schofield is 22 years old right now. So when Erickson Lubin was 22 years old, he fought a title fight against Jermell Charlo, who was considered the best of the division at that time. So shout out to Erickson Lubin, right? He doesn't duck any smoke. We love fighters like that. You know, David Benavidez is also like that. Errol Spence is also like that. Tim Tszyu is also like that. You know, from my observations, David Morrell is also like that. So we love fighters like that. We got to celebrate that. So even though Erickson Lubin has a couple losses, the fact that he's willing to fight anybody is dope. And I have to give him the same courtesy, extend the same courtesy to him that he would fight Bakhram Murtazaliev, and he has no choice. He's an IBF mandatory, right? So that's going to be a good fight, man. And I know we're extra high, or at least let me speak for myself. I'm high on Bakhram Murtazaliev for how he ran through Tim Tszyu like shit through draws. But that was only one fight, right? He had a fight against, before that, when he won the IBF title against Jack Kolke, right? I believe the German contender. I think Jack Kolke is German. Yeah. They fought and he beat him by decision. I thought he beat him pretty handily, but it wasn't like an overwhelmingly fantastic, superb performance, right? So he did have a superb performance against Tim Tszyu, and the way that he did Tim Tszyu caught a lot of us off guard, me included. I thought very highly of Tim Tszyu, so I was shocked. that he did him like that. Not just that he won. I thought it was gonna be a tough fight, but I actually thought Tim Tszyu would win by unanimous decision. That was my prediction going in. But man, he won by an ass whooping in 3 rounds. And so my point in saying that is, though, even no matter how devastating of a loss that was by Tim Tszyu, or no matter how terrific of a win that was of Bakhram, that was only one win. You know, so I still want to see if that was just a flash in the pan performance by Bakhram. So my point in saying that is that I think Erickson Lubin has a chance. I'm going with Bakhram, don't get it twisted. But a lot of people are saying that, oh, Erickson Lubin has no chance. Man, this is boxing, man. Styles make fights, man. I don't know how many times we got to say that, bro. Styles make fights, man. Tim Tszyu and Erickson Lubin don't fight the same. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't get done the same way. That doesn't mean Bakhram can't beat them both convincingly and devastatingly, like, you know what I'm saying, the same. But they're 2 different fighters, man. And just because you're a better fighter doesn't mean that you're going to perform better in every matchup. You could be a lesser fighter and perform better. For example, no disrespect to Lamont Roach. He's a good fighter, but I wouldn't say that Lamont Roach is just much better than Mario Barrios or anybody else that Tank fought. But stylistically, that was a good matchup. You see what I'm saying? I don't know that he's just way better than, I don't know, Mario Barrios or Leo Santa Cruz or Hector Garcia or you know what I'm saying? Guys like that, you know, that Tank fought and beat. Or Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I do think he's better than them. You know what I'm saying? Lamont Roach is good. He's very good. But my point is that no one anticipated that fight to happen, but stylistically and the familiarity that they had with each other that made a close fight. So sometimes you could have somebody, or Ricky Hatton, right? Ricky Hatton went 10 rounds with Floyd before he got stopped. Pacquiao beat Ricky Hatton in 2 rounds. We saw what happened when Floyd and Pacquiao fought. Floyd won. But Pacquiao seemingly performed better against Ricky Hatton, the hitman, than Floyd did. So, you know, that's not always indicative. Somebody performing better against somebody doesn't mean that they're a better overall fighter. You know, so just because Tim Tszyu could even be better than Erickson Lubin, but that doesn't mean that he's a better matchup for Bakhram. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that it's a given that Bakhram's gonna win. I do think Bakhram's gonna win, but I'm seeing all these people just count out Erickson Lubin like he's trash or something. I think you're crazy. Shout out to my guy Flatbush in the building. What's good? My guy Clone, big member in the building. My brother Clone in the building. Yes, sir, man. Please subscribe. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy Oscar, man. Said please subscribe, like, and comment for unbiased, great content and great commentary and conversation, man. Thank you so much, Oscar. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to my guy Oscar, man. Yes, please listen to my boy Oscar, man. One of my favorite people in the chat. I got a lot of favorite people in the chat, though. But shout out to my brother, man. You know what time it is, man. Shout out to my guy Oscar. Please hit that like button for your boy. And consider becoming a member, man, starting at $3 a month. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting money, man. Go ahead and spread some love on the chat, man. You know what I'm talking about? Become a member for your boy. Helps us keep going and growing and helps convince YouTube to also, you know, recommend our channel, man, and push us out in the algorithm, you know, to keep us growing, you know what I'm saying? Popping like lip gloss. What's her name? Like Lil Mama. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Mama's lip gloss. You feel me? Our lip gloss is popping. He said Styles make fights for real. That's why I'm being ducked in squat. Okay, get out. Get out, man. All right, so let's keep it going, man, because he's talking nonsense. But yeah, Lubin versus Murtazaliev, I think it's going to be a better fight than people anticipate. But I do have Murtazaliev winning, in my personal opinion. I got Bakhram. But yes, let's move on to the fight of the hour, the fight of the weekend, the fight of probably this week until the next fight happens, man. We have Charly Suarez versus Emanuel Navarrete, man. We have the undefeated, we have the undefeated Filipino Charly Suarez, you know, the undefeated Filipino contender, man, coming in, older statesman. I think he's 36 years old. Basically having the fight of his life, man. Finally getting his first title shot against, oh, we got to talk about Murataya as well. We're going to talk about Murataya on the back end. I forgot about Murataya and Zaur Abduliev. But yeah, we're going to talk about that on the back end. But we had Charly Suarez, the undefeated Filipino contender, having the fight of his life, his first title fight, first title opportunity against the Mexican champion Emanuel Navarrete for the WBO 130-pound title, right? Emanuel Navarrete started off pretty bad, right? He didn't make weight. He actually missed weight the first couple times, and then he had to make weight the last time, which he did by exhaling. He had to spit out every particle of oxygen in his body. He had exhaled to his toes. You know what I'm saying? To the depths of his toes. He exhaled everything, and he finally made weight, right? But he struggled, and that's why Oscar compares Janibek and to Navarrete, saying that they both are weight bullies. You know, but shout out to Navarrete, he did make weight. That's why I like the IBF, right? I think that all of boxing, universally, whether you're fighting in Jamaica or you're fighting in Turks and Caicos, or you're fighting in gosh dang Cambodia, or you're fighting in Russia, wherever, or America, wherever, I think that every sanctioning body and commission should have a same day weigh-in, you know, the morning of, and then have a 10-pound rehydration limit like the IBF for the next day weigh-in. And if you want to rehydrate later, that's cool. But I do think that everybody should abide by some type of weight restriction, rehydration limit, in my personal opinion. But they don't. But anyway, you know, so Emanuel Navarrete, he is a bigger guy for 130. But he makes weight, so it is what it is. Now going into the fight, man, Navarrete, I'm gonna tell y'all how I scored it, man. Navarrete and Suarez. They fought 7 rounds of boxing. The 8th round is where the controversy happened. Going through 7 rounds, I had it scored 4 rounds to 3. A very close fight. I scored the 1st and 2nd round for Navarrete. I scored the 3rd and the 4th round for Charly Suarez, the King's Warrior. I scored the 5th round for Vaquero. I scored the 6th round for Suarez, and I scored the 7th round for Navarrete, right? So that's 4 rounds to 3 if you're counting and you're good at math, right? So it was a very close fight. The 8th round is when the fight was stopped because of a punch that happened in the 7th round. That was legitimately a punch, right? There's no other way to call it, you know. Now, I'm not mad at the referee. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not mad at the referee, despite popular opinion, bro. Refereeing and officiating is tough. Even judging is tough. Now, that doesn't. I'm not giving an excuse for every messed up call or every misjudgment as a result. There's some corrupt judges and some corrupt referees as well, because there's some corrupt promotions and promoters, right? So. But I will say mistakes happen, and I think that was an honest mistake because there were head clashes prior to that punch that happened in the 7th round. However, I see some people, when I was in my guy Ryan's chat yesterday, some people are saying that, oh, Charly Suarez is a dirty fighter. No, bitch. No, he's not a dirty fighter. Navarrete is a wild fighter, and Charly Suarez is he's a wild boy too. They were throwing some bombs at each other. I'm talking about Suarez would get walloped by a good shot, then Navarrete would get walloped by a good shot. So they were throwing some big shots and throwing some wild shots, jumping in, jumping out, and that is going to promote head clashes, unfortunately, right? So they did clash heads a couple times, but I don't blame Suarez and I don't blame Navarrete. I blame that their stylistically that was conducive for quite a few head clashes. That's all it was. You don't have to blame somebody, bro. You don't have to make somebody some righteous warrior, and you don't have to villainize somebody as some demonic, nefarious being that wants to make a fight, muck up a fight, and be dirty, employ dirty tactics. I don't think anything was dirty by either fighter. That's number one. Number two, I'm not super mad at the referee for missing the call, even though it seemed like it happened right in front of him. But there was a clash of heads after the punch, right? After the punch, which was clearly a punch, there was a clash of heads after. It wasn't a significant clash of heads, but it was like a rubbing of head. But still, it was their heads came together. So I'm not too mad at the referee missing that call. And I also want to make sure that we notice this too. The refereeing has human error, right? So there's going to be some human error. I don't think he did it intentionally. And plus, they don't have the benefit of you being able to utilize the replay system in real time. They're just going off of what they're seeing in real time. In real time, it could have looked like it was a clash of heads. So I'm not mad at that at all, man. But I am mad at the fact that they didn't utilize their replay to get the right call. That's what I'm mad at because, you know, shout out to Charly Suarez, you know, this was a big opportunity for him, once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, he's an older gentleman, right? So I think that it's imperative that they get the call right. And I think that they obviously got the call wrong. Is it going to switch to a no contest? Well, the good thing about the commission is that they are debating and having a meeting and discussing if it's going to be changed to a no contest. Do I think it's going to be changed to a no contest? I doubt it. But there's a chance that it could be changed to a no contest. I think that'd be a good look. However, they did already call a rematch, an immediate rematch. Shout out to Carl Moretti, who's the vice president of Top Rank Promotions, you know, headed by Bob Arum. They did say there's going to be a rematch, but I don't think that that is full justice, right? And I said the same thing when Top Rank had another robbery with Oshiki Foster and Hobson Kasesau. Oshiki Foster was robbed. He was clearly robbed. They gave him a rematch, but he still has that L, right? And it's a little different, but it was still a bad judgment. You know, they got that one wrong. And he took an L for that, even though he got to avenge his loss in a rematch, he still has that L there. So with Charly Suarez, right now to this day, he has an L. And if it switched to a no contest, it doesn't count. But who's to say that he'll be able to put on another performance against Emanuel Navarrete like he did the first time? You just never know. You know how time's going to go. You never know if this was a once-in-a-lifetime performance. So I think he was robbed of his moment. And the reason why I think he was robbed is because the fight was stopped due to the cut. The cut happened due to a punch. If the fight is stopped due to a punch, he should be the victor. It should be an 8th round TKO in favor of Charly Suarez. So that's why I think it's wrong, because even if you have a rematch, Charly Suarez is coming in as a challenger again. He has less leverage again. If he had the rematch and he was a champion, he would get compensated more as a champion than he would as a challenger. So I do think that, man, he just got the short end of the stick, and my heart sunk for my boy Charly Suarez, man. It really sucks for Charly Suarez, because even a rematch is still not a victory. Even a no contest is still not a victory. The only victory is that he actually gets the victory. And if you're gonna go back and you're gonna have a meeting, you're gonna deliberate about what transpired in the fight, then why wouldn't you just change it to the right call? Why wouldn't you utilize the tools that and resources that are afforded to you, that are at your disposal, and make sure that you get the correct call? It's different from the Tank fight, right? So people will say, oh, Doc, you tripping. Why didn't you want the Tank fight to be overturned? That's different. And I said it could have been a no contest or a draw. I don't care if it was overturned. Number one, I did say that. You know, people don't hear me because they think, they just know that I got my GTD chain out, so they don't want to hear me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but the reason why I say it's different is because the Tank fight, if that was called a knockdown, maybe Tank would have reacted with more urgency and tried to knock out Lamont Roach. You never know. He could have got the knockdown and maybe got some more fire under him and knocked out Lamont Roach. Or the flip side, he could have got knocked down and felt behind and approached the fight with more recklessness. He would have been more reckless and overzealous and overreached. He could have got knocked out himself. There's no telling how that fight would have transpired if that call was called correctly and he would have got a knockdown. It's not definitive. We cannot definitively say that, oh, this person would have won, this person would have lost, or we know how it would have ended. There's a lot of gray area to that. However, in this fight, the fight was stopped due to the doctor. And the fight was stopped due to the doctor due to the cut. And the fight was stopped due to the doctor due to the cut that was happened because of the freaking, that was due to a punch. That's why we have a definitive result there, and the result was wrong. So I do think that if you're going to go back and look at it, if you're going to go back and have a meeting about it, if you're going to go back and discuss it, why not come back with the right answer? The right answer would be to award Charly Suarez the 8th round TKO stoppage, because it was due to a cut that was due to a punch. So yeah, I definitely, and I want to say this too. Shout out to my Filipino brethren and sister out there, man. I dropped a video on that, and that video is going crazy. Has 12K, bro. If you notice, last time we streamed, we were at 2,700 subscribers. We're at 2,800 subscribers now. Almost at our goal of 3,000, man. God is good, man. You know, I got shout out to God, number one. Shout out to my Filipino brethren and sister, because they come out and support their own. You know what I'm saying? Now, they should support me, period. Everybody should support me. You know what I'm talking about? But at the same time, you know, I could make a video about this person, Rafael Espinosa or Bruce Shushu Carrington, or this, and they don't come out as much. You know what I'm saying? They came out for Charly Suarez, you know what I'm saying? And so shout out to them. That video is going crazy right now. So shout out to all my Filipino brethren and sister for holding it down, man. And bro, the subscribers went up, you know? So when people ask me, I cover all the boxing. I make videos about Gabriela Fundora, Bam Rodriguez, Fumuleli Cafu, all the way to Alexander Usyk, to Gervonta, Tank Davis, to Canelo. I make videos about popular fighters and unpopular fighters. But when people say, oh, how come we don't talk about certain weight divisions? Because when you talk about certain weight divisions, people aren't interested. When you don't talk about the popular fighter, people aren't interested. Go look at I could literally show you my views, how they change. So it's reassuring when you see that you could talk about another fighter doesn't really have the big profile, and people will still come out and check him out. You know what I'm saying? That's dope, because that makes people like myself, who really loves boxing, whether it's a strawweight at Oscar Collazo or heavyweight at Daniel Dubois, it reassures me and encourages me that people do want to hear about boxers that aren't Canelo, or aren't Terrence Crawford, or aren't Gervonta Tank Davis, or aren't any or Anthony Joshua, you know, or any other popular fighter. So I love that, man. Yeah, I love that. So shout out to the Filipino boxing community. Just another example of A-side privilege. That's a fact, Ty. That was Emanuel Navarrete definitely was a beneficiary of A-side privilege. Shout out to my guy Oscar Perez dropping that graffiti on the chat walls with that bread, that cheese, that butter. Hey man, I keep telling y'all, man. When people drop super chats in the chat, like that thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Encourage people to drop the love in the chat, especially if yo penny pinching, pocket watching, broke ass ain't contributing to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you're not contributing to the channel from a monetary standpoint, you can at least like the messages when people do. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my guy Oscar, man. Lazy son of a bitch. Go ahead and like that. Take 2 seconds to hit that like button on the video and hit that like button on the comment when people drop super chats, bro. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers gosh dang stingy with your fingers, bro. It don't take nothing but a click. Hating asses. You a brawler, huh? Or you box like Shushu. He said, yeah, it's just another example of A-side. Sydney Gang, what's good, Sydney Gang? He said, definitely the worst robbery I've ever witnessed. Literally clear video evidence and then slower the cut being caused by a punch. I wouldn't say it's the worst robbery, but it's definitely a bad robbery. And like I said, we got to understand too, the referee does not see the slow-mos. He definitely doesn't see the slow-mos, and he definitely doesn't see the replays. You know, now it's up to the commission to go back and get it right. And I do blame the people for stopping it without conclusive evidence of where the cut came from. I agree with you there. They should have checked the replay before they made a decision and was like, okay, bet. We determined that the cut came from a punch, and make sure that you get the right decision. So I agree with that. It was a bad robbery, but I don't want to say it's the worst. But it's definitely bad though. It's definitely bad though. Okay, shout out to Mama Doc, man. Mama Doc show some love. Sent me a message. It says, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen. Numbers chapter 6, verse 24 through 26. Also, too, my mom said thank you to everybody. My mom and my aunt said thank you to everybody that wished her happy Mother's Day yesterday and stuff like that. So I appreciate y'all, man, in the Discord and all that stuff. My mom, and in the comments, man, my mom said thank you. Said thank you very much, and she loves y'all. They said, my mom also sent me a message, said, good morning, happy Monday, have a wonderful day. May your week be filled with laughter and sunshine. Amen. Shout out to Mama Doc, always sending me the lovely messages, the God-fearing messages. Shout out to my guy Oscar. He said, check your Discord DMs. I am opening up the Discord now. If anybody wants to join, you can pull up now. This is what Oscar sent in the Discord. He said, this is Navarrete making weight, chat. So this is why this is funny, chat. The reason why this is funny is because if you watch Navarrete weigh in, he literally said, blew out every single ounce of breath in his body to make weight, bro. That's ridiculous, bro. Just move your fat ass up, bro. You gotta just move up, bro. You gotta just move up, bro. That's too much, man. You gotta just move up, bro. Just move up, bro. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to my guys. Hey, you just gotta move up, man. Let me see if I can find it. The man literally exhales. This junk is too funny, bro. Like, just move up, bro. You got Jennebeck out here fainting and being hospitalized, getting fights canceled because he can't make weight. Like, bro, just move up, bro. Don't be that. To me, that just shows that you're scared to move up, bro. You know what's going on. You know what's going on up there. You don't want none of that pressure. Let me see if I can find Navarrete. Okay, here it is. Check out Navarrete literally making weight, chat. Watch him. So he misses weight right here. So he misses weight right here, chat, and he hops off the scale. He looks around.
Fighter has 30 minutes to lose 0.1. Step on the scale one more time.
I need to walk. And watch, look. Yo, the man literally exhaled. He needs to be in that movie with Whitney Houston. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston. Waiting to exhale. This man was waiting to exhale. Look at him. And then he makes weight, chat. That's ridiculous, bro. He butt naked too. He butt naked back there. You see his little thong? You see his little thong on there? Come on, bro. Tighten up, bro. Tighten up, Navarrete. What are we doing, man? What are we doing, man? You gotta do better, bro. You got to do better, man. I'll be right back. Let me go grab a water. Then I'm going to open up the Discord if anybody wants to join. I'll be right back. I'm going to run this ad real quick as I go grab a water. Don't forget to smack that like button.
Yo, Doc here from your favorite boxing channel, Dr. Boxing Talk. And I want to officially welcome you as a member to the Boxing Talk family, aka BTF. So I want to thank you. Your support is greatly appreciated, and this channel is nothing without you. So what do you get? Well, there's a multitude of perks that you get access to, like special member shoutouts when you enter the chat, and some other additional alerts. Not to mention these fire emojis. Yeah, access to emojis like the wolf, the goat, the face of boxing, the legend, the ayo, and the no dig. Not to mention, you know, the GTD chain. You got to bring them out, and it wouldn't be the same if we forgot about these biscuits. So many more. Not to mention, if you subscribe to some of the highest tier levels, you get to do things like pick the topic of discussion, and you get to have your very own emote. Yes, your ugly mug will be featured on the channel by yours truly. It's just another way for me to give back to my most loyal supporters. And of course, there's even more additional perks than that. But most importantly, you'll get the satisfaction of knowing you're a key, essential, imperative part to keep us going and growing. You know, we get the hustle off the muscle. So it's important that we rock together, you know? And remember, God is good all the time, all the time. God is good. And you know that we prioritize facts over feelings, so that's why you rock with us. So big salute from Dr. Boxing Talk. And yeah, can't wait to see you in the next stream. Thank you for the support.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know I'm lying.
Oh man.
Oh, there was an echo. Oh man, yeah, there was an echo because I had the freaking volume on when I just showed that video. Sorry about that. Because I had both my volumes up. I had the desktop audio on and the commercial audio on. Dang it! It's because of when I just showed the thing. When I just showed the Twitter video. My bad about the echo, y'all. Sorry about that. That was an accident. The video does not echo, chat. Check it out.
Yo, Doc here from your favorite boxing channel, Dr. Boxing Talk. And I want to officially welcome you as a member to the Boxing Talk family, aka BTF. So I want to thank you. Your support is greatly appreciated.
So see, it doesn't echo. It's just I had the volume up, man. My bad. Dang it. I'm tripping. Cindy Gang says, Doc, do you think Inoue's overrated because he got dropped against Cardenas and when he fought Neary? I don't think he's overrated. So that's a great question, by the way, Cindy Gang. I don't think Inoue is overrated. He's number 1, 2, or 3 pound for pound. It's interchangeable, right, between him, Bud, and Usyk. Like I said, they have the commonality of having the great distinction of being undisputed in 2 weight divisions and being multi-division champions and being undefeated while doing it. However, I think his last few opponents are overrated. I think that if other people, including Canelo, Gervonta Tank Davis, David Benavidez, hell, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Alexander Usyk, if they fought the caliber of opponents that Inoue has fought, his last 4 opponents, I think people would talk trash. Because his last few opponents, no disrespect to them, but as far as their stature in boxing, they could be considered trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
So I want to tell you, like Ramon Cardenas, he had 1 loss coming in, right? He lost to Danny Flores. Danny Flores has 26 losses. That's who Ramon Cardenas lost to. Luis Nery was knocked out. Before he fought Inoue, he was already knocked out by Brandon Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa got beat up by Stephen Fulton twice. Now Inoue knocked out Stephen Fulton. That's who Luis Nery was. Now, like I said, the historical context makes sense because of what Luis Nery did, and he was avenging his Japanese countrymen, and you know, because Luis Nery cheated, so it makes sense. That's what made it interesting, but not the level of competition. Then TJ Doheny. TJ Doheny was 38 years old, and he had 4 losses already when he fought Naoya Inoue. And then Yi Jun Kim, we already know about him. It was 10 days notice, and he had 2 losses or 3 losses already, whatever it was. So If you translate those caliber opponents to other fighters, a lot of people would complain. But because it's Naoya Inoue, people don't complain because they make it seem like it's like you can't critique him at all. So is Naoya Inoue himself as a fighter overrated? No. But the level of his last 4 opponents have been terrible. That's just a fact. I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know. I get why people even get upset when you say that. There's no way to look at it objectively and tell me that his last 4 opponents have been good. They've been terrible. Relative to him, shout out to Ramon Cardenas. I'm not saying that he's a terrible fighter. He's a mediocre fighter. He's a decent fighter, and I want to see more of him because he's exciting. You could make an exciting fight and not have a high level competition, right? You could have exciting fights without being high levels of competition. It made an interesting fight, an intriguing fight. But to be honest, Luis Nery and Ramon Cardenas should not be dropping down. They should not be knocking down Inoue, because they're not on the same level as he is. But the fact that they are big punchers, and the fact that he was able to overcome adversity, that's something to celebrate. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying that. I don't think Inoue the fighter's overrated. I think his opponents have been overrated. Absolutely. Like I said, if anybody else fights, people are mad at Devin Haney because he fought Jose Carlos Ramirez. Jose Carlos Ramirez, even though they thought he would beat him, but after Devin Haney beat him pretty convincingly, even though it was a boring fight, it was a terrible fight, but Devin Haney won convincingly. It wasn't even close. People complain about, oh, Jose Carlos Ramirez is old. He's not as old as TJ Doheny. And Jose Carlos Ramirez is a former Olympian and a former unified champion. People complain about Gervonta Tank Davis fighting Lamar Roach. He's a champion right now. Even though it's at 130, he's still a WBA champion, current champion, right? People complain about Canelo fighting William Skull. William Skull is an undefeated champion for the IBF. That was an undisputed fight. People complain about Alexander Usyk fighting Daniel Dubois because he beat him already. Well, this is another undisputed fight, and Daniel Dubois is a current IBF champion. You tell me who was a champion between Ramon Cardenas. It wasn't him because that was his first title fight. Yi Jun Kim, Luis Nery, and TJ Doheny. TJ Doheny was a champion back in the day. You know what I'm talking about? In 1892, when Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue, but he's not a champion right now, or even close to it. So no, I don't think Inoue is overrated. I think his opponents have been lackluster though. What if Errol won and beat Crawford? That'd be crazy. Big member of the BTF handing out BTA. Talk to him, Ty. Boxer Talk family handing out that belt to ass. BTF handing out BTAs. You feel me? All right, so the last fight that I want to talk about before we call it a day, man. The last fight I want to talk about today is Raymond Murataya. I'm about to open up the Discord if anybody wants to join. But Raymond Murataya, man. Raymond Murataya versus Zaur Abduliev. I'm going to be honest. I only watched the highlights, chat. And there wasn't too many. So, you know how that goes. Because the reason why I missed this fight is because I was watching the Pro Box fight. And I didn't think that the times were going to align like that. You know, I thought that by the time we got to the co-main event on Top Rank, the Pro Box fight would have been over. The Pro Box card would have been over. But they were kind of in sync pretty much, you know. And the main event, I got to catch that in its entirety because Erickson Lubin and Ardra Holmes finished by the time that one started between Navarrete and Suarez. But I mean, there's not really much to talk about. Like I said, I need to watch the full fight. I only watch the highlights. I don't like speaking on the fight if I didn't watch the whole thing. But I heard and I saw for the highlights that Murataya won pretty handily. But you can't always tell from the highlights because sometimes they will manipulate those highlights for sure. He said PBC's pimped by Canelo is crazy. But yeah, Murataya is Murataya, he beat Zaur Abduliev. That's what he had to do, right? Abduliev only had one loss, right? Prior to that, and that was to Devin Haney, which saw him retire, I believe, in the 4th or 6th round. I can't remember. But yeah, Murataya did what he had to do. I will tell you this, man. I like Murataya, and I like his pops. Murataya, I just, like I said, I only watched the highlights, so I saw his last 2 fights. And it's just hard for me to get excited for Murataya. I want to get excited for Raymond Murataya, but he just leaves a lot to be desired. Do I think he could beat any of the top contenders or champions? I don't think so, man. I definitely don't think he beats Tank. I think he gets put to sleep. I definitely don't think he touches Shakur. Definitely don't think he beats Keyshawn. He doesn't even seem like he's interested in Keyshawn, that's what I'm disappointed in. And Lomachenko, I think Lomachenko comes out of retirement and beats him. However, he is the IBF interim champion right now, and he deserves it. He beats Zaur Abduliev, and we'll see if Lomachenko will come back and fight him. Lomachenko has been given a medical exception in order to recover from his back injury, right? He has until October 8th to actually fight Murataya now, because it was the winner of Abduliev and Murataya. Obviously, Murataya won. So he has until October 8th declared by the IBF to fight Murataya. If he doesn't, then Murataya will be elevated, right, to a full champion. Now, this is the interesting part, though, because if you know the IBF sanctioning body, they prioritize unifications over mandatories, right? They prioritize unifications over mandatories. So if Lomachenko comes back and fights Tank, assuming Tank already fights the Lamont Roach rematch, which the timeline is getting kind of shaky, right? If Tank fights Lamont Roach, which I hope he does, and beats Lamont Roach and retains his title, then we can get a unification between him and Lomachenko. But I don't know if they will allow Lomachenko and Tank to take priority over the Raymond Murataya fight, because they already promised the winner of Murataya and Abduliev, they promised the winner a chance at the full title against Lomachenko, who's the IBF champion, the Ukrainian champion. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know if this is going to be a case-by-case basis. You know, the sanctioning bodies, they're good at changing things up, you know what I'm saying, and having clauses for every rule in their rule book. You know, that's what they're notorious for. So I'm not really sure how this is going to go, if you ask me. Like I said, historically speaking, the IBF prioritizes unifications over mandatories, but because they already promised the winner of Abduliev and Murataya a chance at the full title, I don't know how that's going to go. You know, but I'm hoping it would go where they prioritize unifications. We get Tank versus Lomachenko. But worst comes to worst, Murataya gets Lomachenko vacates the IBF title. Murataya gets elevated, and Lomachenko still fights Tank. I like that fight. But yeah, man, I'm pulling up my guy Bodega Ty. Yes, sir. Sydney Gang says, well, champ side calling Inoue overrated because he got dropped, but out here glazing Devin Haney. Aside from good boxing, it was a boring fight. I still mess with Dev. Well, I mean, so to be fair, I'm not defending champ side or anybody's take, but Inoue fans are very Tank fans get a lot of people talk trash about Tank fans a lot. They get a lot of attention. I think anybody that's a fan of one boxer, you are annoying. You know, whether you're a Tank fan, Shakur fan, Canelo fan, Benavidez fan, Usyk fan, whatever, Apataya fan, they get very overwhelming and annoying, right? But so is Naoya Inoue. Naoya Inoue fans are very annoying. They think he could do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? And even when he does wrong and you critique him, they act like you're making something up. So I don't know what the champ side guy was saying, but if you want to be honest, and that's what I do, I prioritize honesty. Inoue had a great performance last weekend, or the weekend before last, but Inoue also had the easiest opponent by far. I just spelled it out to you, you know what I'm saying? Even Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero's a former champion. Ramon Cardenas was not. In fact, that was Ramon Cardenas' first title fight. Devin Haney fought Jose Carlos Ramirez. He's a former unified champion and an Olympian. Cardenas is not. Even Teofimo, when he fought Barbosa was a mandatory. Ramon Cardenas was not. Even Canelo, they talked about Canelo's fight being boring with William Skull. It was. William Skull was an undefeated champion. Cardenas was not. So yes, Inoue had the best performance, but it's easier to have the best performance when you have the lowest opposition. You have the lowest level of opposition. We got to say that too. So if you like boxing and you really enjoy boxing, then you should also cover the entirety of the sport. Don't just say whatever piece of the pie benefits your narrative that you're trying to kick. So there's nothing wrong with judging or critiquing Inoue's opponent choices, because we do the same thing for everybody else. Last time I checked, we talked trash when Canelo fought Edgar Berlanga because we didn't want that fight. Edgar Berlanga is a better opposition than Ramon Cardenas. He was an undefeated number one position WBA young bull fighter, contender, right? That just is what it is. So we got to let's tell the truth. I don't think Inoue's overrated though. I don't think he's overrated because I think he's top 3 pound for pound. So I don't think he's overrated. He's a great fighter, but his opposition has been trash. There's nothing wrong with saying that. So it's so funny. The same people that don't want to talk about Inoue's level of competition be so quick to be dismissive of everybody else's competition. That's the issue right there. If you're going to tell me how bad Tank's opposition has been, if you're going to tell me how bad Cinnamon's opposition has been, if you're going to tell me how bad Usyk's opposition has been, or repetitive, if you're going to tell me that you don't want to see Beterbiev and Bivol fight for a third time, even though they're 1-1 and they could determine undisputed, well, not undisputed now because Benavidez has been elevated. If you want to tell me how bad, and if you want to tell me how bad people's other stars' opposition has been, or critique the timing of their fights or whatever, and you want to tell me Terrence Crawford has a bad resume. Last time I checked, Terrence Crawford's last opponent was Israel Madrimov. That was an undefeated champion in his debut at a new weight class. Who was his opponent before that? Oh, that was a pound for pound Errol Spence, a unified champion, future Hall of Famer. You know, that was Terrence Crawford's last two opponents. You know whose last two? You know what Inoue's last two opponents were? Yi Jun Kim and Ramon Cardenas. His last three was Yi Jun Kim, Ramon Cardenas, and TJ Doheny. What are we talking about, bro? So just be fair. Inoue's a great fighter, but Inoue's opponents have been trash. I don't care about that. You see what Pancho Villa did? Inoue started at 105. Who cares? So who cares? What does that got to do with his last few opponents? Once again, you're coping. Canelo started at a low weight too. So what? What does that got to do with his opponents now? I don't hear you say, oh, I don't want Canelo to fight William Skull, but gosh dang, man, Canelo did start at a lower weight class. What are you talking about? Who cares? Who cares? When you say, oh, Terrence Crawford, he only fights one time a year, but you don't say, oh, but he is 37 and he has more fights than Naoya Inoue does, and Usyk. Terrence Crawford has 41 fights. Everybody complains about his lack of activity. Well, his lack of activity still has him with more fights than Inoue and Usyk. You don't say, oh, well, Terrence Crawford started at 130. Oh, who cares that he started at 105? So what? What does that got to do with his last four opponents? Pancho. I'll wait. You know that pound for pound lists are updated, right? So when you have a win, they judge you off of your last fight and they either put you up or down. So when Gervonta Tank Davis, I'm sure that you probably said, needs to get removed off a pound for pound list. Why do you saying that? Because he had a draw, right? So you're judging him off his last fight, right? Oh, but if you judge Inoue off his last fight, you want to bring up that he came up from 105 in 1908. Who cares? What does that got to do with where we're at in 2025? I'll wait. That's why I can't talk to you emotional fans, bro. Critique everybody the same way. I think that Devin Haney's fight with Jose Carlos Ramirez was trash. Canelo's fight with William Skull was trash. Barbosa and Teofimo's fight was trash. The fact that Gervonta Tank Davis took a knee and he got away with it, that was trash. Inoue's last fight, his opponents were trash. We could critique everybody. Nobody's above criticism. Not even your boo thing. You sound like a little groupie. That is what it is. I don't know why some people that's why people are allowed to run around talking about Ryan Garcia wasn't on PEDs, because you either love Ryan Garcia or you hate Devin Haney. Either way, that's too much emotion for a random man you don't know. Why are you so emotionally invested? I do not know. I have no clue. I can't relate to that. Call it for what it is. And what it is, his last opponents have been garbage. It is what it is. Shout out to my guy Ty in the building. What's good, brethren?
Here.
Yes, sir. He said, I gauge fighters by skill. No, it's hard to do that when they're fighting guys that aren't of comparable skill. That's why they have the term cherry picking, right? So if Gervonta Tank Davis fought the same four people that Inoue fought, you would say that he was cherry picking, because you just told me that he was cherry picking against Lamont Roach, who's a champion. You just told me that Canelo was cherry picking an undefeated champion in William Skull. So if we're judging by skill, that we would call that a cherry pick, right? Am I wrong, Ty? Or am I right?
That man tripping.
Okay, thank you. Okay, they have terms for that. It's called cherry picking. If Usyk, people told me that Usyk is cherry picking Dubois, he's a champion right now, because they don't want to see the fight. People told me that Bivol is ducking Benavidez to cherry pick Beterbiev because he's old. So you tell me the opponents, bro. Just be fair. Just be fair in your criticism, man. If it's cool. If you don't want to criticize Inoue's opponents, that's cool. Then don't criticize anybody else's. That's cool. You know?
They not though. They gonna say, well, that cherry pick was entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. If Canelo was fighting, let me think of a comparable guy at 168. If Canelo was fighting, I don't know. Give me a guy at 160. I can't even think of anybody. It's pretty a pretty dead division. Who'd Jaime Munguia just fight? Nah, Bruno Saras, he doesn't really engage that much. Eric Bazinian before that. That guy came to fight. If Canelo was fighting Eric Bazinian, he'd have knocked him out too. And that would have been engaged. And he wouldn't have got dropped while doing it. I promise you that. But no, Inoue is not overrated. Inoue is a great fighter, but his opponents haven't been good. Christian and Billy, I don't know if Canelo does Christian and Billy like that. I mean, I think Canelo beats him, but I don't know if he does him dirty. I think he beats him. I don't know if he knocks him out. I was trying to think of somebody he would knock out, Flatbush.
Anybody named Liam or Callum?
Ah, there it is. Liam Smith.
Ain't Liam McCallum. He on his back pocket.
He on his back pockets. Oh, man. Yes, sir, man. My guy, time. Man, talk to me, though, bro. I mean, just be fair. That's all flat. That's all. But you would never hear me say Inoue's a bad fighter. I don't think he's overrated. Pull up. But yeah, we got to critique, bro. We critique people's opponents all the time. Why we acting brand new? We could critique everybody's opponents. That's not unfair to critique people's opponents. What's unfair about that? In fact, that's the contrary. It is fair. Because we do it to everybody else. That's what fairness is. My guy Ty pulling up on me, man. Appreciate you, bro. Sorry about that. What fight you enjoyed this weekend, man? Talk to me.
Be honest, all my enjoyment left after seeing that Navarrete shit.
Yeah, that hurt, man. Shout out to Charly Suarez, man. What do you think they should do, man? You think it should be no contest, keep it how it is, rematch, or change it to Suarez wins by TKO in the 8th round TKO?
And give him his TKO and mail him his belt.
Agreed. Facts.
If Bob wasn't involved, that would be the normal procedure.
Come on now.
Like they did in the past.
Come on now. Talk to him.
But they're going to make that boy wait for a rematch.
That's the thing about the rematch, I'm going to say. I know that should be good enough in theory. But, man, sometimes you just got that performance, man. You know, it's like when you hooping, bro. It's like we was talking about basketball earlier. Sometimes you got them days you just can't miss, man. What if that was Charly Suarez's day, man, and he just can't? What if he comes back out and he's Tyrese Halliburton game 3 where he only has 4 points or whatever it was? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I mean, hey, it is what it is, though. It is what it is.
It's the nasty part of the business right here.
Nasty.
It's kind of weird how we can see somebody definitively lose and still get the petition or even given a chance to gain a decision over that. But we see a dude get robbed, they gotta go get it back in the ring.
You feel me? Look at Oshiki Foster and gosh dang what's his name? Oshiki Foster.
Oh, Hobson
Conceição. Yeah, thank you. Yep.
I think about it. I think Top Rank did him a little favor after what happened with him and Oscar Valdez.
Oh yeah, yep.
They let him go in there after he popped dirty.
Yep.
And still fight.
On that tummy tea. Shout out to my guy Flatbush. He said he's all fired today. I appreciate it, bro. I mean, just people come up with their week. And shout out to Ty too. That's why I love this channel, because y'all hold me accountable, man. I gotta attack boxing from a holistic point of view, man. I can't just be like I'm just glad I can't even relate to that, man. Some of these guys, they call themselves men, bunch of boy bitches, bro. Like I don't understand it, you know. You can't be so critical of a fighter just because you don't like them, but then give this other fighter who does less no criticism. You know, it's okay, bro. No one saying that someone has a weak opposition does not mean that you're weak, but that's how sensitive these boy bitches are. You see what I'm saying? If you don't say that Inoue is a Japanese Jesus, then they start melting. You feel me? So if they'll critique Tank and Canelo and Benavidez and Usyk, or not even really Usyk, but Terrence Crawford, they'll critique them all day, you know. But then as soon as you say something about their bride to be, well, actually no, they're the bride, I should say, they're their husband to be, and then they get to crying and melting and You know what I'm saying? It's just weak, bro. I don't think Inoue is overrated. In fact, I said that I could say that 1,000 times, but I'm gonna critique. You see how I said that? I think Inoue is a great fighter. He's top 3 pound for pound, but because I'm not saying that his opposition is great, they crying. He said, Sinigay said, you could argue Inoue fought lower oppositions, but who's more active fighting 3 to 4 times a year? Once again, that has nothing to do with his last 4 opponents. We're talking about level of opposition. You could fight a million times a year. If you're fighting a million guys that aren't good, then it doesn't matter. Shout out to Inoue, though. You said who was on an 11 KO streak? Terrence Crawford was on an 11 KO streak at 147. These are just facts. And he was fighting pound for pound guys. Errol Spencer's a pound for pound guy.
Hey, Doc, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Does that activity matter if you already have a mandated mandatory?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good question. No, it doesn't.
So you had 4 fights and didn't fight your mandatory?
Oh, yep. That'd be MJ
What you telling me?
Yep. That's
You active, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not an active defending champion.
Nope.
Is what you're saying?
Nope. He's not an active defending champ. He's not fighting any of his mandatories. So the fact that you're talking about 3 to 4 times a year, what does that have to do with anything? You just said he fought 3 or 4 times a year. That's why I gave you 4 of his opponents. And those 4 opponents were TJ Doheny. And the rest of the guys. He said Bam has a better resume. No, Inoue has a great resume. No. I ain't saying that now. But that's what people hear. Like Cine Gang, he just asked me if I think Inoue's overrated, and I told him no. But because I critiqued his opponents, he's talking about Inoue's 30 fights and his 11 KO streak. When did I say he's bad? I literally say he's top 3 pound. Well, so when is being top 3 pound for pound? When is that? When is that disrespect? You can't get any higher than top 3 pound for pound unless I said that he's number 1 for sure. But yet you're still offended. That's what I be talking about. Hey, I'm done talking to you though. Here comes another one. I can just feel it. Katumal says, look at the boxer rec in Super Big. I actually watch fights. I don't have to look at boxer rec or boxing rankings. There was a number 2 underrated boxer, the one who dismantled Inoue Naria's neck. Oh, my bad, Katumal. He said, look at boxer rec and super bantamweight rankings. I thought you were being a groupie. My bad, bro. I assumed the wrong thing. He said, look at boxer rec and super bantamweight rankings. There was a number 2 underrated boxer, the one who dismantled Inoue Naria's neck. I'm not sure what you're saying, bro. My bad, Katumal. Though I thought you were being on that groupie shit like Cine Gang. Like I said, I think Inoue's a beast, bro. But that doesn't change that he's fighting weak. It's like Canelo's a beast. Canelo fought a terrible performance. He fought a terrible fight against William Skull. He's still a beast, but I'm gonna call it what it is. But if I say the same thing, Canelo's my favorite fighter, and I say that he fought a bad performance. If I say the same thing about Inoue, you're wrong. That's what I'm talking. I think Inoue has. If I could say who has a worse fan base, I know a lot of people say Tank has a worse fan base. He's very popular, so of course that's gonna come with it. Canelo's very popular, so I can see how people say he has a worse fan base too. But Inoue's fan base is, man, and Apataya too. Apataya's fan base is ridiculous as well. Not everybody, because I'm a fan of Apataya. I'm a fan of Inoue too, but no one's above criticism. My bad, Katumal official. My bad, bro. I just assumed that you were saying some stuff that that City Gang was saying. I glanced over it and read it wrong. I apologize.
I don't think the Tank fan base is the worst. They just probably have the most numbers. There's a lot of them.
True.
But we talking about worse. Y'all must not have lived through the Pacquiao days.
Oh no, bro, Pacquiao's one of my favorite fighters. I'm so glad I wasn't on the internet as far as when it comes to boxing. I probably wouldn't like Pacquiao.
You're supporting them.
Yeah,
they might say monkey.
Right? Yeah. Man,
going over here,
bro. I'm so, because I got love for everybody, man. But you can't get so mad at somebody because they have a different opinion than yours, bro. Especially when if you're being disrespectful, then of course, if you want to fight fire with fire, bet. But if I say that Floyd beats Pacquiao or Tank beats Shakur or Canelo beats Dave Benavidez, it shouldn't. Your response shouldn't be discriminatory in nature. It shouldn't be racist, bro. Like, come on, bro. But it's those that do it the most that try to blame other people. They be like, oh, well, that's how you are. No, that's not how that's not how a lot of people are, bro. A lot of times it be the other communities that be the ones that be accusing other people of doing it. They're the ones that do it the most. That's the sad part. Well, it's making people think Inoue is above criticism. I generally want to know what those reasons are. I mean, you tell me. I mean, I told you that his opposition was weak. You started telling me about what he was doing at birth. Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one says, you know what's so crazy? I'm gonna use Canelo as an example. When I say Canelo had a bad performance against Skull, or someone says, "Oh, I don't want Canelo. He's fighting a weak guy in Edgar Berlanga." No one says, "Oh, well, he fought Triple G." You don't say, "Oh, he fought Sergey Kovalev. Oh, he fought Floyd Mayweather." No, you just say what it is. He's fighting a weak opposition right now, and you complain. When Tank fights somebody you don't want him to fight, like Lamont Roach, you don't say, "Oh, well, he just fought Frank Martin, or he just fought somebody in the past that was great, Mario Barrios, or even Devin Haney." When Devin Haney just came off of a freaking layoff and he had a bad fight, you know, but then Ryan Garcia loses and they say, "Oh, it's because he's been out a year." Him and Devin Haney been out the same amount of time, and Devin Haney's been through more stress. I'm not saying Ryan Garcia hasn't been through stress, but that's self-inflicted because he cheated. He brought this all on himself. Devin Haney ain't asked for it. Devin Haney has been the one he's the only one that's been victimized. You know what I'm saying? And he still managed to win convincingly against an arguably better opponent. No disrespect to Rolly, you know. But I don't think that even if you think Rolly's better, it's not that much of a difference between him and Jose Carlos Ramirez. But we're mad at Devin Haney not because he lost, not because he didn't win convincingly, but because it was boring. Hell yeah, it was boring. But he still won coming off of a layoff in his last fight. He might have some trauma from that, losing to a cheater. So if anybody we're going to give leeway to, shouldn't it be Devin Haney? I'm not a Devin Haney fan, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm going to stop saying that too, because I am a Devin Haney fan. I'm a fan of boxing and all boxers. I'm going to stop saying that. I am a Devin Haney fan. But when I say the word fan, you know, people think you're a fanatic. Like, I ain't no groupie like that, but I definitely, like, I'm rooting for Devin Haney to bounce back. But when I say that I'm not a fan, it's not like I'm, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't defend him if it wasn't true, or if I didn't believe it. Casemiro versus Inoue is the best fight in super bantamweight. Hey, Casemiro, I don't know about right now. I think the best fight in super bantamweight is MJ Madaliev, right? Casemiro, unfortunately, John Real Casemiro, his ban should be done now, right? His ban should be over in Japan. I don't remember when he got banned last year when he fought Saul Sanchez. Came in overweight by 1 pound.
I'll shoot him some bell. It should have been him in Vegas and not Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
If we keep it a G.
Hey, now that would have been better. I think John Real, I'm gonna be honest, I like Casemiro. I think it's over with. I think Inoue packs him up now. But if that would have been better, Casemiro and Inoue would have probably been more intriguing than Inoue and Cardenas. Not probably, for sure. That's a good point, Ty. That's the fight they should have had in Vegas. If they didn't want to do Akmadali, they should have did Inoue Casemiro. I agree with that. That would have been exciting. Casemiro would have came to fight with that one. I'm not saying he would have won. I don't think he would have won. I think that time should have happened. What was that? Back in like COVID, around that time. That's a fight that would have been good. But you could argue that Inoue didn't want to fight him, right? But if you say that, then people will get mad at you. You could argue that Inoue was, was ducking the smoke. He said Casemiro's trash. Nah, he's not trash. I mean, now he's not as good. Yes, please join the Discord family so you have the opportunity to join the panel and state your case. Yes, please. Please join the Discord, man. Pull up, man. We love talking boxing, man.
I know somebody that's not.
Oh, yeah, you already know he ain't going to pull up. Pussy.
He on that B-Hop program.
Facts. He said, we'll be overturned. I just came from the university. Shout out to Boys Be Crying. You think it will be overturned? Overturned to what? No contest? That's what they're saying. We'll see.
That's what Bob want.
That's what Bob want. Who y'all got in the rematch, though?
Got Navarrete by
Yeah, me too.
a bowl of rice.
That's crazy. I got Navarrete, but I ain't gonna lie. I like Navarrete, but I'll be rooting for Charly Suarez in the rematch. For sure. The King's Warrior. Pro Box did his thing, gave us a recovery from the fatal foot. Yeah. Fatal Fury season. If Casimiro had been active and kept it together, yeah, he definitely would have been up there, especially after getting kicked out of Manny Pacquiao promotion. Well, I mean, he's not too inactive. Remember, he just got suspended for a year, Cindy Gang. He just fought Saul Sanchez last year. But he got banned. And, you know, if you get banned in Japan as a little weight guy, it's hard. Well, I'm not giving an excuse. I don't know I don't know. Maybe, you know, I heard, last time I heard he got like arrested or something went down in the Philippines recently. Don't quote me though. So maybe that's that too, but.
Man, him and Mark got them weird cases out there.
Mark Maxeo. Hey man, someone give me Mark Maxeo on the channel, man. Somebody get me Mark Maxeo, man. And holla at him, man. Why you laugh, bro?
Can't say on air.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
You gonna have to have him in the green room telling yo, this is what you can say.
Facts.
This is what you can't say.
Facts. So I'm looking at shout out to the Boxer Voice. I'm looking at Brian Norman. Their title is Eddie Hearn offers Brian Norman Jr. Duran in his fight post Japan. Remember I told y'all that this morning? I'm gonna come on. And then who on there? Brian Norman Sr. explaining himself. I ain't gonna lie. I be defending him, man. I'm not defending him this time. Whatever you get yourself into, it's whatever.
I ain't mad at him.
I ain't mad at him either. But guys, I'm just tired of it, bro. Just tired of it.
I ain't too kind to the, you know, the punks and the other P's, but he doing his job.
Yep, that's true. The thing that I just can't get behind is when you go out your way and say, oh, if Boots don't fight me, he a bitch, and then
Yeah,
if Boots don't fight me next, he a bitch, and then you turn around and fight just Sasaki. So it's by your own definition, by default, you call yourself you a bitch then.
yeah, you had to go over there and get that money.
Yeah, no, I like it though. No, I definitely like it. Don't get me wrong. I definitely like I like that. I think that's a great decision. I think it's a great, fantastic decision. But you can't say that, you know what I'm saying, and then do that. Can't call him a bitch for not fighting you next, and then not make yourself available to be fought next.
You also can't say Bill be out here tweaking and capping, and then you do that.
Facts. That's a fact, bro.
You seen the Puel and Matias question?
Not bad. I'm over here responding to this YouTube comment. Give me a second. My fault. Said, just let me know when the date is settled. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel, Oscar. Just like, bro, just let me know when the date is settled. I'm tired of talking about it, man. This feels like a gosh dang a reality show, bro. He said, Sasaki can pull an upset. Just Sasaki? I don't think so, but yeah, I think he can. But I don't think he will. Shout out to Kendrick, man, my guy, big member in the building. He said the Pueblo. Where's the Pueblo question? I missed it.
I just seen it. I think I responded to him.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, you good then?
Flatbush, BK.
Okay. Oh, my boy Flatbush. He said, I don't see it. Okay, Doc, who you got? Ooh, Pueblo Matias, Subriel, and Alberto, huh? Alberto, the PED user? Y'all here using
he's trying to make a baby.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes.
He's trying to make a baby, man.
Oh, man. Gosh dang, man. Make a baby.
He actually got a valid excuse. He went and made a baby.
Hey, that's true.
He was struggling. He needed some extra assistance.
ED affects 5 out of... No, I'm just joking. Man, that's a tough one for me, man. I think stylistically, my mind is going Pueblo. But man, I feel like I'm leaning towards Matias, man. Pueblo on the juice.
Oh, on the inside.
Yeah. If Pueblo could
And
get
probably
to him,
on no damn juice. You do realize, in like California, Texas, New York, and even Georgia, you can fail for being off the honey pack.
yeah. Yeah, that was a while ago though, Kendrick. It was what? Because it wasn't his last fight. Who his last fight was? Sandor Martin wasn't that fight. The fight before that was who? Gary Anton Russell wasn't that fight. It was that fight before that, right? I think.
Right.
Yeah, but like Ty said, there wasn't no like juice, like wasn't no intentional juicing or whatever.
I mean, you find juice something.
Yeah, you're trying to do something. You're trying for procreation. Well, baby and PED sister belly. That's crazy work. Maybe we'll come out looking like those. What's your thoughts about Suarez Navarrete? I already talked about that, Katsuma. I already talked about that, man. But I don't mind revisiting it briefly. I think that Suarez, I think it was a wrong decision, man. I think it should be overturned, and I think Suarez should get awarded the 8th round TKO stoppage. Do I think it's going to be overturned? No. Do I think it'll be no contest even? No. I think it's going to stay the same. I think they're just going to award him a rematch, and I think that's messed up. Now, that's a tough way to lose your undefeated. That's a tough way to lose your O too. You know what I'm saying? Lose your O to controversy. Got Thomas in the back. Who is this? Oh, we got somebody new in the back. Who is this? I'm not sure who this is. Team Slime? That's Team Slime in the back. Welcome, welcome. Let's go, man.
What's up, big bro?
What's up with you, brother?
Just
joining, man.
chilling.
Talk to me, man.
Get my little boxing stuff together today for get my first workout of the day in.
That's what I'm talking about. In the gym getting right. Thomas, what's good, bro?
Just thankful to be in the day, bro. Thankful to
Amen.
be in the day.
Amen. Talk to me though, Team Slime. You know what I'm saying? What you think about this weekend of boxing, man? This is debuting on the panel, man. Appreciate you joining, man. Welcome.
For sure. This weekend was part nasty work and part progression.
Okay.
Part progression. The Navarrete fight, that was nasty work.
It was.
That was nasty work.
It was.
But that's boxing, man. That's boxing. This is a beautiful game, but a dirty game.
Yeah.
A dirty game. And unfortunately, in some of these situations, we've kind of seen it in the Tank Davis situation. You got a situation where he takes a knee.
Yep.
And had that been anybody else, that's a knockdown.
Yep. It should have been a knockdown. It's a fact.
But it's a situation where a lot of people are looking at, you know what, my paycheck is kind of tied to Tank Davis, so
gonna look.
We're gonna let him get it off. We're gonna let him get it off. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's situational. So then the Navarrete fight, like, was there a clash of heads? Yes. But when you watch the replay, the cut was not caused by the clash of heads. The cut was caused by the punch.
Talk to him.
For sure. 100% caused by the punch. But you go back to another situation where, now in real time, I give the referee the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
Because in real time, there's a lot happening very fast. And I mean, just from personal experience, there are times in the ring where I have done something and then watched the film back and be like, "Well, I did that."
Right.
I don't remember punching him.
Right.
Or get hit and like, I don't even remember getting clipped right there. Like, oh, he hit me. Like, you know what I mean? So in the moment, there's a lot that goes on. You don't know that it goes on. So but that's why with the advancement of technology, we now have access to replay.
Talk to him.
And Jack Reese has a credible name in the sport of boxing. So for Jack Reese to watch the replay and say, "Oh, it's inconclusive. I'm just going to go with the original ruling." I feel like he may have said, Bob Arum gives me a lot of work."
Right.
I think I'm just going to side with Bob Arum's side this time because, and it just goes back to the politics of boxing. So that was the nasty work.
WBO, what Bob orders. That's what they say, ain't it? What Bob orders.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes with the politics of boxing, man. Names will get you names and money will get you a lot of places in boxing. Unfortunately, it's not just about what happens in the ring and the skills and that pay the bills, because they don't pay the bills. Bob Arum pays the bill.
Facts.
But
Facts.
on the progressive side, though, there was a lot of good talent displayed. Not super huge names, but guys that I feel like are on the come up. The Taylor guy on the UK card, the light heavyweight,
Ezra Taylor.
Ezra Taylor. He's on the come up. Like light heavyweight's about to get very, very interesting. Like we've got the guys that are on the top, and we know what that landscape looks like. But there's a whole landscape up under them of guys that are on the come up and kind of unknown to the broader audience that are putting in work. And light heavyweight is about to get very, very interesting. And then Kasachi, not Kasachi. I'm sorry. Even though that was a good fight, but Murtala made the 135. Yeah, he made the 135 landscape very interesting. And now we have to because I really feel like and this is what I just feel. I don't have no information or anything like that or any facts. This is just a feeling. But I feel like Bob Arum asked Loma, just hold off on announcing your retirement, because had he announced his retirement, what would have happened was he would have immediately vacated. Like they would have went ahead and just moved on. IBF would have just moved on. Okay, you're retired. Okay, you know what I mean? And then the landscape of 135, they would have known what was going on. So Bob's probably like, man, if you just sit tight and keep quiet for me, I can position my other 35 pounders to grab the IBF. And that's exactly what we just seen. So I think that here in the next month or so, that you'll see Loma come out and be like, I'm retired. Oh, we didn't know. Oh my goodness, Loma's retired. And then
I like that.
Muratalla, another top ranked guy, will then get the vacant belt. So I think that's how they played it, how they positioned it. And now it gets interesting though, because now you've got two top ranked guys with belts at 35. And then what does Bob do? Because Bob's all about the politics, and he's a very smart player. But what does he do? Does he position again and then Keyshawn moves up, or does he make that fight? Sometimes he makes the fight, sometimes he positions guys. It's just all what he feels like is the best interest of the company.
Right.
But yeah, those are my takes for the weekend.
Nah, man, those good takes, man. I appreciate it, man. Boy, broke it down, man. Elaborated, articulated. I appreciate it, bro. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Team Slime, man.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Already, man. Appreciate that. I'm gonna pull up my boy Oster. Now, I think those are good points, man. I actually never thought about that angle about trying to hold off to his retirement. I guess I was just infatuated with the gosh dang possibility of him fighting Tank. Him being Loma for unification. But that's a good point, man. Yeah, maybe it was an effort to keep that belt in the crib at top rank. So I'm mad at that, man. That was a good breakdown, bro. For sure. I didn't think about that. He probably right. Muratalla already trying to avoid. Bro, I don't like the fact that's one thing, man. I watched that Muratalla interview, man. Shout out to my guy Oster in the building. Man, Muratalla disappointed me, man. Like, to me, that was one of the most. If you could say I'm not fighting you, if you could say I'm not about to fight you without saying it, that was it, bro. I would say, yo, Muratalla, man. And the crazy part, like I said, I don't mind. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really mind it. If you want to make a career choice, that's cool. But don't say that you like. He literally said prior to the fight that man he wants Keyshawn verbatim. I mean, I guess that's part of the game though. Like Team Slime was saying, man. Is it pronounced Makayo? My bad. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Makayo. Yeah, like you were saying, man. It's just
Yeah, it's pronounced Macau.
Okay, bet. Yeah, just like you were saying, man, it's the politics and it's a business, man. So, we all know clout chasing is part of it. I don't like to see it, don't like to hear it, but it is what it is. But I just don't even mention him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see how it goes. Say something like that. But I'll be like, oh, yeah, man, I want to fight him. Oh, yeah, that's next. I'm gonna whoop him.
My man, he was spot on a lot of things, bro. And it's if you remember my talking points, it's always been the same, man, especially when it comes to Bob Rank. He said he wants to hold out and wait out the bout so that another top ranked fighter can get the belt.
Yep. You
Why
said
would it be another top ranked fighter? Why not put the belt up for anybody else? Because Bob covets those belts because it allows him to allure new, fresh talent there.
You sure? I thought only
You
PBC does that. That's crazy. All the promotions do
Nah,
that, Thomas?
well,
That's
I
crazy.
mean, I'm gonna say. Let me say this. Let me say this, because it'd be better
Except matchroom.
received from other people
Right.
outside of the PDC and outside of Tank Davis type deal. So like some fighters said, I was trying to make fights, but the promoters was not letting it happen.
Right.
And the ninja that I just quoted hating on somebody else.
Come on now.
For holding them to a standard that they will not hold somebody else to.
Come on now.
Not even their favorite fighter in that moment that they're talking about.
Come on now. Yeah,
Said,
all the
you know,
promotions do that.
Makes sense. That makes sense. But when everybody says that's the case, that same promoter for that same fighter is in play right now for what he was saying. Man, them belts ain't leaving Top Rank. He ain't trying to let them even have a chance of leaving Top Rank.
Yep, they all do that, man. All the promotion companies do it, but it's just I always hear only one promotion doing it. Go ahead, though, Thomas.
So the fight likely will play out that way, or he will fight them to possibly pass the torch. But there's no fight going to be made unless my man Bob Arum really is going to try to get him paid before he goes out. See, I think the calls get made and they tell him, hey, look, this is what we're going to say. You say this, we take care of you. He probably did want to fight Keyshawn, but he probably got that call from Bob like, nah, it's not playing out that way.
That's a good point, too. Shout out to you. That's a good point. That's a good point.
This is how it's going to play out. And, you know, I think it was playing out that way for Shakur, and Shakur finally got enough of it because Shakur was like, yo, look, man, we got people up in here that I can make a fight with that's on our team. Why can't we do that at least? And, you know, you notice Bob didn't even show up to not one event for that damn Valdez fight. Not one event did he go up and show up to.
Yeah.
How is that? This is your most prized possession. The best fighter you have in your staple. And you're not promoting it. That's crazy. That's wild. But that's how he's always operated. He's never wanted his belts to go outside of. He never wanted his fighters to really unify. He wants them to be able to attract other fighters. You ain't got to worry about that. We're going to make this avenue for you. You're going to be a champion. We're going to make you a champion. Yep. But look, this route.
Yep.
This route.
Well, we lost Mikhail. We lost Oster. Go ahead, Thomas. My fault.
Oh, man. Because I was talking.
Hell no, man. You cooking. Keep talking, man. What you mean? we like the sermons from Mr. Thomas Hill, man. I don't know what they talking about.
I got something to add to that.
Yeah, man. Keep cooking, man.
I'm just saying, man. You know, it's always a look from a certain way because this is how we feel. We do that. I was telling somebody else the other day. We allow people to shape the way we view other people.
Talk to them.
Deciding on what people say. Me, I'm not like that. I see clear. I got to because I got to wear corrective lenses, bro. If I don't have them lenses on, I can't see. I cannot see nothing.
Stay woke.
Clear. All I see is objects and colors. I'm being so real with you, dog. So I know to see it. I grew up in an area where you got to see clear.
Got to see clear.
Otherwise, it will catch you in the blur. So like I'm never saying stuff because I got a preference, I got a bias. I'm saying it because that's what it definitely rocks like. Right. It rocks that way. And the litigious one, Bob, he's always been this way. And then when Bob tells you this stuff, you have to believe it. Remember, Bob told us that Dad was gonna fight this fight. Everybody in the number was saying, "Oh, this fight could be possible. This fight could be possible. This fight." No, the fights that Bob said happen, and it always happens that way. When them people was over in the ring doing what they was doing, probably got that call like, "Hey, look, don't F up the money. We got a big fight with this dude going up with this."
Yep.
So we can't do that. It was a major injustice done this for us because it would have been a fight. And he was losing the fight. He was losing the fight, but he would have won on TKO.
Facts.
Because he refused to go.
Facts.
He could no longer go.
I'm not going.
And we know he could fight because we saw a bloody Tim Zoo continue on when they would not stop the fight, and people dogged them for that. So, like, you know, it is what it is, man. I think that a lot of times, man, we just got to stop and smell the roses, man.
Yes, sir.
Wake
That's
up
a
and
fact,
take some
though.
coffee.
Yeah, shout out to my
And
guy
realize
Thomas,
that
man.
sometimes go ahead.
No,
man,
go
my bad.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, realize that sometimes it's not decaffeinated, bro.
That's a fact,
Sometimes it's
man.
straight from the bean.
Yeah, y'all gotta hear what my boy Thomas is saying to him, man. I want to get Ty in here, man. You had any thoughts on that?
My guy Bodega Ty.
I was going to add Bob not letting you unify unless you take that Loma Tio discount, that death row contract. You know, that 5 years
for the long haul.
Oh yeah.
He ain't gonna be dancing in your videos though. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be like Eddie Hearn. He ain't gonna be dancing in your video, all in your videos. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta commit, man. You gotta go for the long haul, man.
I don't think we see Murtazaliev fight Keyshawn because he ain't got them for the long haul.
That's a fact.
Where do you think he might go to? Golden Boy?
I think Murtazaliev might stay. But I think Keyshawn's on his way out because he getting to that threshold, $5 million, and Bob ain't paying that.
That's a good point. Only reason why I thought maybe he might go to Golden Boys because he trained with a lot of Golden Boy fighters. They be in.
I can see that.
That's what I was thinking that. But no, you're right. You're probably right though. I think Top Rank's a good place for Murtazaliev too, and Keyshawn, but man.
Ty absolutely right, and on top of that, man, he already writhing because he lost the belt, and Shakur walked off with a belt.
Yep.
That ain't sit too well with Bob.
Nope. Talk to me, Oster. What's popping, man? Gonna get my boy in here, man.
Hey, shit, I'm chilling. I'm just listening right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just listening right now because I got doing the shit.
Okay, handle your business. My bad. Oscar says it is very easy for Bob to do that at 135. That's a top rank heavy division. And 135 has no mix up whatsoever. Yeah, they don't mix up. Yeah, I feel you on that. He says, Cindy Gang says, hey, yo, Doc, have you ever had a Filipino on your live? Are you Filipino? Hop on the live, motherfucker.
Now we got one.
You feel me? What you mean? Cindy Gang been
First
here.
time for everything, bro.
Right.
First time for everything.
Right. What you think? I do like a background check for jump on, bro. Everybody jump on. I'm sure I have had to answer your question. Right. I'm sure I have had a Filipino gentleman on here before. But I don't know for sure if he is. But I think so. But there's no anybody could join on. Right, please. I want to.
So we had everybody on here.
Everybody. As long as you don't be no asshole.
Filipinos, Chinese, people, everybody.
Right. I let everybody on here, man. Just not no assholes. I don't care if you're a black asshole, white asshole, brown asshole, male, female asshole.
Wait, what?
Don't be no asshole. I said I let everybody on here just don't be no asshole. But nah, but yeah, that's definitely a pause. Yeah, we're gonna pause that. Because I said black, brown, white asshole. Yeah, it sounded kind of crazy. I ain't mean it like that.
Colors and whatnot. We
gonna pause that.
I feel the movement, but I don't be relating because I don't be thinking about men like that.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Shout out to my guy Thomas. I always got my back, man. But yeah, that was definitely a pause, though. We gonna pause that.
Yeah. I ain't mad at it. I know
just don't be no jerk is what I was trying to say. Don't be no jerk, man. There we go. There you go. Shout out to my boy Cito. Cito said I'm a Filipino mix. Talk to him, man. Yes, sir, man. I let everybody on here, man. I want everybody on here. Everybody should be represented, man. I don't have no discrimination.
Yeah, man. Let the Filipinos on, man. Because them, they as a culture, they talented.
Fact.
They hella talented.
Man, my closest friend growing up, man. Yeah, my closest friend growing up, Filipino, man. I know I showed that story before, but that's how I used to get all my Dragon Ball Z games and DVDs, man. He used to go out there when you go to the Philippines, you bring me back. Had that little my chip on the PlayStation. Heck yeah. I'm playing all man. Way before Toonami. I was already on it. You know what I'm saying? I was already on that pack, on that DBZ pack before even Toonami.
It'd be easy thought they still come to get motherfuckers with old war crimes.
Yeah, let me chill out. Statute of limitations ain't expired? That's crazy.
I'm trying to tell you, kid.
Yeah, snatch you up.
What you did as a kid, you're
right about that. I'm out here snitching on myself.
They did that boy, they did him dirty, bro. Like, he got the call, man. And like my man Michael said, bro, like they got the benefit of a replay. Everything he likened it to, they didn't use replay. He used replay, man, and there was an angle where it slowed it down, and you could see clearly that the punch caused it.
Yep. They did Charly Suarez dirty.
Hey Thomas, it hit different when that ringside official come tap you on your shoulder and tell you what the showrunner and the promoter said.
Exactly.
Wrap that shit up, B.
Exactly.
Wrap that shit
My
up,
man
B.
was looking a little too hard at that replay.
Facts, man. Yeah, but when that happened, I was like, because I was almost say that, like Thomas already said and Mikhail already said, and I said it too earlier. It's like, bro, I understand because of real time, but that's why you have the replay though. Because in real time, I thought it was a head clash as well. You know what I'm saying? And but you just got to get that right, man. Because Charly Suarez, it's not enough for him to just get the rematch, bro. He's already, you know what I'm saying? He would have had that leverage of coming in as a champion, his first title fight, undefeated. Come on, man. Now he's going to come back and probably get pennies again. Not saying he got pennies this time, but he definitely didn't get that much. So,
well, at that point in time, I think I have to try to bring in somebody that's going to negotiate on my behalf because now we got veritable proof that it was caused by a punch.
That's a good
so
point.
I'm no longer taking pennies on this go around. I'll do the rematch.
That's a good point.
But you're going to give me the billing that you give him. Facts. You're going to give me the pay comparable to what you give him.
Facts.
You ain't got to give it to me, but you got to give me in the ballpark type figure.
Right.
Because he ain't hit a home run. It was a triple.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I hit a triple too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the base is the same. You're going to have to give me something.
Right.
Same what he getting. And I think that's what, if I was him, I would do that because you could clearly tell some call was made or that back shoulder tap happened.
Right.
And that's been happening a lot in boxing. Been happening a lot.
Trying to tell you, kid.
That's a fact.
They do it to the guys that can't afford a petition.
Yeah,
I know y'all guys don't pocket watch, but I'll be looking.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. Hey, I don't villainize it now. That's just nothing.
He ain't got the bread to petition that decision if it comes out to a no contest. He want to take wherever the hell they give him because he don't have a strong promoter on his side. He better go get Lou DiBella or somebody.
Like that boy Lou DiBella.
Hey, but see, that's what I'm saying. That's forward thinking right there. See, Ty, we're going to have you as an advisor to the fighters, bro, because a lot of them just getting effed in the game, dog.
Yep.
They B-side shorties, C-side shorties.
C-side shorties, I like that. He said, I think once Inoue fights and beats MJ, yeah, I think he beats him. And Nakatani, I got Nakatani beating him. I said, I hope Doc will give him his full props. I don't know. What props am I not giving him? I don't know what props I'm not giving him. Yes, bro.
Who does not give Inoue their props?
Bro, people make up stuff, bro. If you don't say Inoue is the best and invincible fighter, they think you're not giving him his props. All I said was that I literally said he's top 3 pound for pound. I just said that his last 4 opponents haven't been good. How is that not giving him his props? I just said Canelo performance wasn't good. Do I not give Canelo his props? You got to go through that yourself, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I can't explain stuff to you. You hear what you want to hear, bro.
Hey, why your boy Canelo try to use old boy to justify the fact that he was lazy in that ring, though?
Lazy as hell, bro. Lazy as hell, bro. Lazy as hell, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. Don't even remind me. Like I said, both my two of my top 3 favorite fighters are looking bad right now. Junto Nakatani, he got a little wobbled against was it David Cuellar, but he caught himself and knocked Buddy Smooth out. So, but Tank with the knee and the little piece of hair grease, and then now Canelo acting like he don't want to fight. Come on, bro. I'm down bad right now. I need some redemption. I need Tank to run it back with Roach. Go ahead and clean that up. I need old Cinnamon to go ahead and handle business against my boy Bud, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I got both of them doing what they got to do if they get in that ring. But I don't know if Tank getting back in that ring, man. That boy got legal troubles. Like I said, he got all kind of troubles going on outside the ring that effing with that make you freaky whole damn mental.
Yep.
Got that boy telling the kids, hey, don't do this. This ain't even worth it. That's simple.
Yep.
But man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I love to see that Junto in a way.
I love to see Junto. I love that. I will say this though about that. I don't, as much as I like Junto, he don't deserve that fight yet, in my opinion. You got to at least be unified, man. You can't, like I said, bro, like Junto, I think he's the best, but that's not enough. Like, he's in 118-pound division. he has 3 other champions there with him that are undefeated, just like he is. I was like, bro, you got to
Yeah.
show me. You got to show me that before I could you go against the monster, you know, or at a higher weight class, a guy who's undisputed. You got to at least be unified, you know. And that's what he's doing. He's fighting Ryosuke Nishida, the IBF champion. So then after that, then I'd be like, okay, bet. You know, I'm not saying you got to get undisputed, but yeah, at least got to show me that you are above the rest. At least for me. Maybe I'm a stickler for the procedure of things, but I just feel like you skipping some steps, and you know.
I ain't mad at that.
I love that
not
fight,
mad at
though,
that. But I think it should happen pretty soon, man. Because you know, in a way, he not the youngest of cats neither. So you know, you want to make sure it's still within his prime bracket,
right?
Prime versus prime. So I'm hoping that you know they can put that fight together quickly because that ain't but like I know they like 3 pounds away from one another, but hell, within those small ranks, boy, a pound be a difference between the next division.
I'm
like
telling you.
119.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts. I mean, yeah. What was it? You got freaking 105, 108, 108. What's the next one? 112, 112, 115, 115, 118, 118, 122. A whole bunch of 3 pounds and 4 pounds.
Man, I remember when it used to be 15 pounds, dog.
You feel me? You feel me?
Man, nah. You just a Big Mac away from another fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
That's not wrong.
Hey, you mess around and get the supersized joint, you gonna be up 2 divisions, bro. You
Hey,
supersize that thing, boy. You gonna be a 2 divisions. You ain't lying. You ain't lying,
but
bro.
you're right, man. And to the dude that be on in a way saying that people don't respect in a way, got mad respect.
He gets mad respect, bro.
When you think about it, at one point in time, people were saying he was pound for pound the best fighter in the game. This is the same fighter that you just been seeing in his past couple of fights touch the canvas. So let that resonate for a second. He's touching the canvas and he's pound for pound considered the #1 fighter in the ring. And everybody shows up and watches his fight, and he fights in Japan.
Come on, now.
Come on, bro. Just let that sit for a second before you start saying it.
Say it again, Thomas. Say it again for the people in the cheap seats.
Hey,
way in the back.
My man, being a great competitor,
talk to him.
A resilient fighter, one who got up from a broken eye and handled business, one who got up from various knockdowns and handled business, still touched the canvas, still fights all the way across seas where, hell, you got to wake up 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 5, I don't know, wherever you at, you got to be in the morning to watch fights that we watch at night. That they're watching at night to view his performance, and people who have not seen him say he's still pound for pound #1. How is he getting hated on?
Come on now, they ain't even seen him fight, bro. They couldn't. They ain't even see him fight, bro. They ain't even see him fight, bro.
He is a person, and so being a person and being successful, some people gonna hate on him, especially if they like somebody who maybe not as successful. Maybe if they just not as successful. People gonna hate on him for no reason at all. But there is a lot of love to say that
A lot of love.
Name a player that he's named other than a couple of fighters. Name some people he done fought that you could say he's #1 pound for pound. He's definitely top 3 pound for pound. And you got fighters who have actually done more.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
That have actually fought more names that you could resonate with.
Don't say that.
They're not even in the top 10.
Don't say that. Doc sounded like he was an NFL quarterback saying the way. Yeah, I'll call it audibles like Peyton Manning. Hey, Oscar says, I know y'all high on Inoue versus Junto, but y'all good have to wait. I don't care if his name Junto, pump gas at Sunko, or collects Funkos. The sheet in 5.
Hey, see, that's a touchy subject for me, man.
The sheet in 5. Yeah, bro, he got
I said Ryan in 5. Look what that got me.
I told you
we was gonna knock Ryan out.
Hey, but I will say this, man. I will say this. If you didn't listen to the opening to my man Doc's show, you could tell that he's impartial, man. He will definitely speak the truth no matter what it is, bro.
Thank you, bro.
And no matter who it applies to. It could apply to his fighter
Thank you,
that he roots for. He gonna speak the truth, bro. Ain't nobody hating on Inouye, man. Inouye bad. If you don't know that Inouye bad, all you gotta do is look at, man. It's people who get dropped in real life and never pick themselves up.
Facts.
He got dropped in the ring.
Yep.
It's people who get dropped in the ring, and it's a wrap.
Yep.
People who hated on Devin, he got dropped in the ring.
Yep.
By like 7 times. They only counted a couple of them.
Come on now.
But he still got back up.
Come on now.
And they saying his chin is not right.
Yep.
When
Bro,
he got back up.
But you know what's crazy about that? There's people out there that think he got knocked out though, because they don't watch the fight. Bro, you know how many people think this man got knocked
you
out?
would think so, the way they talk bad.
You would think you're right. That part. Omari, what's good, bro? Do you think I see you on mute? I was just acknowledging you. That's all I was saying. What's up? Stay
So
on
man, I'm gonna stop hating because I've been talking too long. But man, I gotta stop hating on these fighters, bro, because a lot of them man doing things that we can't do on a regular basis and making sacrifices that we won't make on a regular basis.
Come on now.
And some of them ain't getting paid. Matter of fact, 98% of them ain't getting paid.
They ain't got the right people on their team.
They better get right.
Yeah, their representation.
Better get right.
But Thomas, I got some hate. Y'all giving out a little too much love. For me, in my humble opinion, Inouye is probably the greatest current Asian fighter. But I got 3 dudes beating him.
Oh, okay.
Break it down for me.
Junto Nakatani.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Yes, sir. I believe the
Sun
same.
Jin Woo from Solo Leveling.
Oh yeah, Sun Jin Woo.
Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's crazy, bro. This man said Yu Yu Hakusho. Time trolling, bro. Shout out to Time, man. I ain't messing with Time, man. Yo, shout out to my guy Oscar dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
Hey, the thing that I remember most about Inouye's fight, man.
Oh, let me hit the super chat. Let me hit the super chat, Thomas. Please.
Oh, for sure.
He said, Team Rolly and 5 assemble. He said, oh yeah, because Oscar said he said he went for Rolly as well. Okay, go ahead, Thomas.
Hey, anybody went for Rolly, shout out to you, man.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna even lie. Hey, but I'm gonna say this. Besides the whooping that they put on Fulton, but I got a little back context for that. It still was a whooping nonetheless. The most impressive thing that I saw him do was when the dude that wasn't even a boxer started taunting him, he put him on his canvas real quick.
I thought I could have
real quick. Hey, that remind me of peak performance upon command. Oh, you want it now? I'm gonna give it to you. Like the song say, I could give it to you, but what you gonna do with it?
Hey.
And my man fell to the floor, dog. So Inouye a bad dude. Ain't nobody hating on Inouye, but yo, I do believe he will take a loss if he do fight my man Junto. I like Junto. I think Junto got the goods, but like you said, he gotta merit it. You gotta merit it.
Yeah. And when I say that Junto beats him, I'm not saying it's for sure. You know, that's a great fight. I'm just going with Junto. You know, it's like Canelo and Benavidez. That's a great fight. I'm going with Canelo. I'm not saying like, oh, Benavidez ain't got no chance, or now, of course, now he is a dude. Of course, he got a chance. You know, he should be the favorite. He's going to be, and he should be the favorite. But I'm going with Junto for what I see.
Well, one thing we know about that Benavidez fight, he ain't gonna have to work hard. He can afford to be a little bit more lazier in that fight because my man is coming at his ass. He ain't gonna dance around the subject, around the ring. He coming at him.
Yeah, if you got Bud being Canelo, boy, that fight, his last fight, definitely helped galvanize that thought. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure.
I got Bud kicking Canelo ass. Easier than Spence.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
So for him to win though, he gonna really have to beat the dogs.
He gonna have to beat
that's Crawford. That's Crawford mentality. Anybody get in the ring with Crawford, he gonna try to beat the dog trash. I'm telling you, man. I believe the last couple of people that fought Canelo was already scared before they got in the ring. Cause they do this type of stuff we talk about now. That Canelo this, Canelo that, this and that. But I'm gonna tell you, Bud is like that too.
Yep.
Bud is like that too. Yeah, he's like that, and he don't need. This is one dude that you do not need to show no sign of no weakness. So you better be on your A game.
So let me ask you this though, with what you just said, right? I mean, just stop provocation now. Just thought provocation now. When you said, but that's what he does, and I agree. He tried to beat the shit out you. But I will say this though. What about the Israel Madrimov fight?
Yeah, he was trying.
He was trying.
He was trying.
Okay.
What I see on that fight, on that fight, Doc, like I told you before about that surviving and win and surviving and lose. That's what that was. That's what that was
on Madrimov's side.
On Madrimov's side, you see when Crawford was trying to engage.
Okay.
You see he either crumbled up or held or started herky jerky. He was throwing punches, but
right.
He wasn't trying to fight. He wasn't trying to. Come on, we all watch boxing. He definitely wasn't trying to fight. We watch boxing. He was not trying to fight at all. Not for somebody that's just coming up for for your debut. You know what I mean? And then you got somebody coming up from 147 up here for the first time, and we got a fight like that from you. They looking at Crawford. You need to look at Madrigal. He was the little golden little child that they was trying to put up. And he didn't fight the way you see him normally. If you look at his other fights, because I wasn't up on Madrigal. I wasn't up on him until they popped him up there.
Right.
And I had to go back and check him out. And I seen his other fights, and I was like, okay, this might be something, because he was definitely switching up on everybody else. He was switching up, doing the whole shit. If you look at his other fight, he was switching up, playing with
he had a good fight against Magomed Kubranov. That was a good fight.
Yeah, he was doing it. But that's what I said, Doc, when I said when he gets to this level.
Yeah.
Because there's levels to this. When he gets to this level. So you 0-2 in this level. We don't care about that. We don't care about none of that.
But in Virgil, okay.
Yeah, we don't care about none of that. But on this level here, we see what you're working with. So you say Bud ain't do it, but you tried to fight Virgil, and you see what happened.
Okay, so this is my question, though. I mean, so my question is, so if Terrence Crawford ain't do what he normally did, just like Canelo didn't do, is it fair to say that the opponent dictated the pace of the fight?
I mean, you could definitely say that, because he went in survival mode.
Okay.
Now,
I agree,
bro.
I agree. Okay. I'll just make sure. Okay.
He definitely dictated his part. Now, Crawford, if you bring it to him, like Canelo's to me, the last fight, he didn't bring it to Skull. He was walking him around, but he didn't bring it to him.
Right.
He just walked him around the ring, and every now and then he just, but he wasn't like, what up? Just bring it to him. Like, what's up? But I don't think that's gonna happen with.
Okay.
Huh?
No. I was gonna say that's my point. I feel like, well, I don't really have a point. I mean, that's just what I'm commenting on. That's what I'm thinking about now. I'm actually thinking about it too. Because when you said like Skull is like Skull, I feel like Skull didn't let. I mean, sorry, Canelo kind of let Skull dictate the pace and didn't do anything about it as far as bringing the fight to him. So it kind of knocked him out of his game. Same with Israel Madrimov, like you pointed out. If even if it was just to survive and lose and not survive and win, it kind of took him out of his dog game plan that he usually, or the dog that he usually exhibits. So I feel like they both have some kind of slippage that they shown, that they are both kind of susceptible to letting their opponent dictate their performance. That's the only thing I was thinking about. That's all. I wasn't saying I wasn't proving a point. Okay, go ahead. Tom.
What you say, Doc?
As you pointed out, Madrimov was in there basically to survive. But when we seen Bud, there was guys that tried to do that at 47. The difference was he cut them corners and he forced dudes in the situations to be knocked out. We didn't see that at 54.
Because he was
just like with Canelo.
No, but
we're used to him doing certain things. With that. We didn't see it.
No, I agree with that. But those people at 154, all those people at 154 was bringing the fight. They was talking shit to Bud, like they could beat him and all that. They was all bringing the fight, they talking shit in post media and all that. And so what I'm saying is that when in a fight, the way I see Bud fight, Bud could fight you, he'll box you, if he see you running around. But if you engage and you play games like you want that dog, and you play games and you come here crazy swinging, we can go that route. Because he with that. He tell you all day, I love to fight. They tell me to box. I like to fight. They tell me to box, though. You know what I mean? So I know every time I see Bud fight, that's what I'm just talking about, the mentality. The skills and all that, they all rank 10 and 10 on all that. You know what I mean? We could compare them all day with that. Only thing I think is different with this fight here is going to be the mentality.
Okay.
I really think you're going to have, if you got that mentality, because Skull ain't have it.
I agree.
Charlo, I don't know where it went with Charlo, because he had it. I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
you know what happened. The balls got put on.
You can tell before they even got in the ring.
Yeah, fact.
You know who had it though, Ty? You know who had it though? You know who came in there and ain't gave a fuck about Canelo, and nothing he stood for was Bivol. True
Facts.
story. If you fight like Bivol, I guarantee you.
So I was gonna go there. What was the cards like on the Bivol fight?
Oh, like the
wasn't it unanimous?
Yeah. He smoked him. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, he smoked him.
Probably 10-2.
I think it was unanimous. I know he smoked him.
Yeah, probably like Ty said, probably 10-2. I'll look it up right now and tell you. I don't know off the top of my head.
10-2, but that's not what they played out on the scorecard.
Ooh, it was closer than that. You saying? Okay, I see.
Oh, they gave him an 8-4 respectfully.
I don't think that fool Canelo won a round in that damn fight.
Oh wow, no. Thomas is Thomas is right. Thomas is right. Hold on. Thomas is right. It was 7 rounds to 5.
Like 2 years ago.
It was 7 rounds to 5, 115, 113. All three judges. All three judges.
And Doc, remember when Bivol was beating Canelo, like just beating him up, fucking him up, like
Bivol was beating dog mess out of Canelo, and it was 7.
Yo, remember he tried to walk to the rope and tried to get him to slug him. Bivol looked at him, got me mixed up.
Yep.
Bring your ass out so I could keep beating you up. You got me mixed up. Get off that rope, punk. For real, get off that rope. We ain't playing.
Boy Crawford gonna have to keep the dog snot out of him to get a 7-5.
Yeah, that's
if he doesn't.
I really, I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm looking at 11 round style. I think Crawford gonna beat the. I'm telling you, man. He gonna. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've seen Canelo in high profile fights get almost close decisions, where he was dominated. The Mayweather fight, he was dominated, but they gave it a close card. You know what I'm saying? The freaking what's his name?
Draw.
Yeah, this is why I'm putting a stoppage in the universe, because I know you're going in 5-0. You already lost 5 rounds from the first round when you get him with Canelo. You got to really kick this dude ass. You got to
you got to really whip his tail, and if he's gonna engage, he's gonna have to really beat him. Because Canelo, I mean, hell, in the fight that he fought with Madrimov, I mean, hell, it looked like Madrimov came out like he can go to the club. Crawford had all kind of licks on his ass. So like that against Canelo, that's a loss. You winning, you damn near losing.
But this is gonna be a different. This is a whole different magnitude, though, Thomas. On this fight here, this is a whole.
Had that 10 on him.
Yeah, this is a whole different. This is a whole different magnitude. Yeah.
What's the tip?
Imagine more if he walk out of there clean.
Oh, he didn't.
Madrimov was beat up. You see all that red? That boy was beat up.
That shit was.
But I don't think about that because Madrimov was trying to survive. I think we're about to see a fight at number 12. We about to see a fight though, because I think we're about to see a fight. Because it's a lot. You know what I mean? Canelo. I know Canelo. Like I'm not losing to a motherfucker that came from 147. I just know he like, man, that's not happening
again.
So I know he worked. Yeah, I know he working like hell.
He don't want to lose to a smaller fighter again, like he did with Floyd.
Yeah, again, right? Yeah. There's gonna be, and then Crawford. Yo, it just fit him, man. It just fit the feedy going on, the mentality. You know what I mean? All that, man. And I think that this is not gonna be a Madrimov and Crawford fight at all. I think this is gonna be. They're going to try to take each other head off. Because I know Canelo ain't going to sit there and try to fight him for 12 rounds. He's definitely trying to stop him. Canelo, I don't care what nobody. I know he's like, I'm trying to stop him. He's little or two, I'm trying to stop him. For the people. For the people, man. I just believe that. And I think Crawford is like, man, I got this dude. That's going to make it a good fight. It's that mental. That's to me, I think it's that mental. Like,
no, I agree with you. Actually, I never say you could. Only part I think that sounds a little wild to me is the stoppage part, but as far as him being, I never say you crazy for thinking he beats him. I mean, I disagree, obviously, but I don't think you're crazy. I mean, like I said, Budge is a
But you know why
fighter.
I say stoppage, Doc? You know why I say stoppage? Because just Crawford mental, and this is what he's known for in his whole career, stopping people.
Yeah.
Not really
Only at
technically
47.
knocking you out.
There we go. What,
Yeah, no, I'm
you heard
just
what Ty
saying.
just said? Yeah, right.
No, I hear you saying. No, I'm just
Right.
saying, hey, Ty, I'm just saying the mental. I'm not saying what he gonna do, his
Right.
mental.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so I know if he's getting the best of Canelo, he's not gonna do what anybody else and stop swinging. He's gonna try to stop him. That's just his mental. So if he was to catch him like that, that's why I don't say a knockout. I think a stoppage. I don't think you can knock Canelo out. I'm not saying you can't knock him out.
Right. I got you. Yep.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
I think a stoppage. If on both halves, I think it's gonna be a stoppage. Either Canelo gonna stop Crawford, or Crawford gonna stop Canelo.
You know, I was thinking about this the other day too. I was like, man, I hope that.
It's gonna say at the end of the day, yeah. The rest gonna say if it ain't a flash knockout like a boom and you knock him out,
right?
But you're not gonna be over there just giving them 8 and 9 combos. Neither one.
What I was thinking of the other day was that. What if this fight boring? I don't think it can be, but what if it is, dog? Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be, but I don't think it could be. I don't think it's no.
I don't think it can be either, but man, I don't know, bro.
Boring, then the demand for the benefit of this fight even grows exponentially.
Oh, he gonna have to fight him that night. He gonna have to fight him tomorrow.
You know what I'm saying? But, hey, shout out to my main man Ty, dog. Ty was correct. I went back and looked. That boy did have that hue on his ass. He was red around that left eye for sure.
Oh, my boy Ty be on it now.
Yeah, he be on it, dog. Shout out to Ty.
Yes, sir. Bodega Ty. Yes, sir, man.
But my man Crawford did get touched in that fight, man. So you know what I'm saying? If your boy is touching his ass, boy, it's a different type of touch.
Hey, yo.
Yeah,
because
Masmov is a lot faster but Masmov is a lot faster than Canelo, though.
No, did it?
I know, but remember after the fight, to justify the look of the fight, they said Masmov was the best thing in 54. He was going to dominate everybody else, and then in the very next fight, he got dominated.
I told Doc that. I said that to Doc before when they brought that boy up to fight Crawford. Eddie Hearns act like he had the golden child.
Yeah.
Swear to God, he was
golden child. Y'all remember that movie with Eddie Murphy?
He had the golden child. I said,
want the nine.
I want the please.
Hey, that was a classic. To know that was a girl, it was wild, dog. I thought that really was a boy.
Me too. The golden child was a girl. The whole time I thought it was a boy too.
Nigga said, please, please, twice.
I want the knife, please. But yeah, now you right though. You right though. What's the name?
It's gonna be boring.
Huh? What you say, Ty?
Who said the fight might be boring?
No. I was thinking about it the other day. I said, what if? No, I don't think it is.
I got something to add to that.
Oh, go ahead.
It's gonna have to be boring for Bud to win.
I agree with that now.
It ain't gonna be super action packed. That's not how you beat him.
I agree with that now. I saw reports of Floyd being in there too, in that camp.
Then the mental toughness factor that Bud has, Canelo has that too.
Yep.
I don't think he's gonna outwill him to stop him.
I don't think so either.
He could box him to a decision, but stopping Canelo,
yeah, I think that's borderline nuts.
That sounds just as wild as saying somebody stop Bud.
Yeah.
No, I think so. I think you can get stopped. I think anybody can get stopped. I mean, for real. I think because when I say that, Ty, I'm just saying it's Canelo and Crawford. The ref is not going to sit there. This is not back in the days. The ref is not going to sit there if one of them getting the two best of them in the corner, like connecting, and he ain't swinging. They're going to stop the fight. They're not going to sit there. I just can't see them sitting there letting Canelo get beat up. But I can see them letting Bud get beat up.
I can see him letting Bud get beat up.
I ain't gonna hold you. I can see him letting Bud get beat up. I'm dead serious. I can see them letting Bud get his ass kicked in there. I swear to God. But they ain't gonna let Canelo get his ass kicked. They ain't gonna do it.
We keep this to how refereeing has been going for years. The B side, he get caught with a good shot, he might wave that shit off.
Oh, but that's a good point. That's a good point, Ty.
Provision available.
That's a good point.
Nah. Let him up.
That's a good point. Canelo hit him one good time. Yeah. Them legs get a little shaky, baby. Oh boy, it might be over with. I ain't think about that.
To tell you. I tell you, I think if the worst come to worst, it's gonna be a stoppage. I don't think it's gonna be no knockout. I think they both too slick in the ring to get knocked out.
Hey, let me ask this: has Canelo ever been down?
Nope.
Oh,
Come on, man.
Nope.
Come on, man. That's big cinnamon, man.
And
That's
they
big
gonna
cinnamon.
stop?
Oh, there's a lot on this fight.
That's
Neither
big.
one of them never been down.
That's big cinnamon. Oh, well, hold on. What'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say? Run
You heard
that by
me.
me
You
again.
heard me, Doc. You heard me, Doc. You heard me. You heard
Nah,
me,
you
Doc.
right. You right. You right. My bad. You
You
right.
heard
Nah,
me.
you right. You right. My bad. You right. You right.
Yeah.
You know, you right. You right. You know, I don't know about that Kavalaskis though. What they say about that Kavalaskis?
Yeah,
What they say about that
had a
Kavalaskis?
couple slippers.
You know the joke. You see what happened to him though, right?
You right. You right.
So
You right.
Yeah, you see what happened though.
Oh, hey, hold on. Can we salute Can we salute Kavalaskis real quick, man? He knocked Buddy out the ring, bro. He just knocked Suleiman Sissoko. I forgot to mention that too from this weekend. I only saw the highlights and then I catch that fight, but Kavalaskis got him a nice win over undefeated Frenchman Suleiman Sissoko, who was ranked, I believe, #1 in, I don't remember what section of body, but yeah, he got knocked out the ring by Kavalaskis, man. It wasn't really a knock like a he hit him and then he got caught up on the ropes and then like he kind of he swung at him again and he kind of missed and then he fell out the ring.
Like riding around. You can put up this on YouTube. It's my man Doc's channel. So we talk about boxing.
Right.
Go on in the morning.
I appreciate that, also. Appreciate that, bro. Shout out to you, man. Thank you, bro.
The plug.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, man. No, I was just saying thank you. But I can't remember his name now. First name, Amankis.
Green beans.
Yeah. There it is. Mean Machine and
Mean Machine.
Kavalaskis. Yep, he knocked Suleiman Sissoko out the ring, man. I said, gosh,
Bird
dang.
called him green beans.
Green bean. Yep, that too. That too. So.
Green bean, boy. Green bean had that boy on that canvas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, there we go.
I ain't say that. I ain't say that. Also, you know, I ain't say it. Don't get mad at me. I ain't say it. You know, I was just asking a question. I just asked you to repeat yourself, make sure I heard right. You feel me?
The canvas.
Hey.
I mean,
touched. Like Omarion, touch.
Yeah, all right. See.
Nah, shout out to my boy Bud though. Like I said, man, this is a tough fight for me to watch. I know Canelo's my favorite, but I like Bud a lot, man. Like I said, I met Bud and
I do.
Bud gonna watch Canelo.
I would say I'm rooting for Bud to win, man, because I don't want Canelo to get away with the Bud as he been getting away lately.
Not mad at that.
But I don't believe that that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it would be a shock, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I don't know why you're shocked.
Absolutely not. Can't be surprised. It's Bud, you know. Can't be surprised. Gotta give
him a shot. Is your shot to the weight class?
He's coming all the way up. He's coming all the way up, dog. And I mean, Canelo used to dealing with bigger bodies, dog. This dude, he ain't been fighting these type dudes, man. He ain't been getting hit by these type people or hadn't hit these type people. Canelo been hit by the only one I ever saw do it. Was what's the name? And I think he was more so frustrated at Canelo than anything. He just had him frustrated.
Yeah, Bivol, right?
I think that's what. Yeah, people had him frustrated, and I think that's what took him out of the game. So Crawford will have to frustrate him. But he ain't banging him, I don't think, to get him up out of there, though.
I don't understand why people don't see this. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know Canelo face be right there. Where you could tap on it. Canelo,
he be right there.
Canelo like to punch. He'd be right. He like to punch. He like that. Canelo like to punch.
That's true.
He love to punch. He want to punch and go crazy with you. Bud do that all day long. We do that. But I guarantee you, Bud gonna fight him like Bivol fight him. For him. Jabbing him all day long. He's gonna be jabbing him all day long.
And you see, you know what you said also, and that's the thing right there. It's like kind of like how you just said, I think it had to be either Thomas or Ty. I don't remember which one. But we were talking about how Madrimov, Madrimov fought differently than Canelo fights. I think that's a reach to think that Bud gonna fight like Bivol, man. They fight so differently, bro. Like it's night and day, man. They styles, you know what I'm saying?
No. I'm not talking about like exactly like Bivol, but I'm talking about with the jabs, his style, the way Bivol, because the way Bivol beat him, he jabbed him all day long.
Man, you know what? Not only that, he also, bro, there was spots in there where he threw, gosh dang, I just made a video about it, bro. I don't remember what video I just made, but I featured Bivol in there. Bivol was letting off 5-6 punches consecutively, bro. If Bud does that, he going to sleep. Bro, no. If Bud does that, Bud going to sleep. He cannot let off more than 2 punches. Come on, bro. Stop it, bro. He's not agile enough, bro. He's not agile enough. Man, come on, bro. If Bud sit in that paint and let off 6 punches, he going to sleep.
For everybody.
He going to sleep. Come on, bro. He going to sleep.
I meant to tell you too, Doc. I meant to tell you, I do watch your videos and I share.
Oh, no, you good. I know you do. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it.
I remember I said I forgot I gotta get on Discord and let him know.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that, bro. Already. But don't, I appreciate the love, man, for real.
I gotta let the doctor know.
Talk to me, Ty.
This ain't 2020. This ain't 2018 Canelo. We've seen this man for the last 5 to 6 fights.
No knockouts. You right about that. You right about that now. Hey. Last person we seen him dance was Caleb Plant, right?
Hey, well, now I think about it, that's 3 dudes. We see 3 guys jab to take away that lead left hook. Everything Canelo does is set up off that lead left hook.
That's true.
Yeah.
You take that away, you can have a night like school.
Okay.
Only difference is Bud gonna be throwing combinations off of that.
Okay.
I don't think he knocks out Canelo, but I do see him mid-diffing him throughout the card. 7-5.
4 or 5 punches in a row too, unanswered.
I can see it.
7-5, my man. So you predicting a real 10-2. A 10-2 look, but a 7-5 score though.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, 7-5 score.
Yeah, facts. Like B-ball. I don't see it, man. Hey, if I'm wrong,
B-ball was getting that off. It's because when he attacked that left hand, that's when Canelo was trying to set up the left hook.
Yep, and trying to step in.
He comes off that back foot.
That back foot. Yep.
And he's off balance. He can't throw. He can't throw shit back.
Can't throw nothing.
That's a fact. That's an excellent observation.
But can Bud do that though?
But on top of
Skull can get
why you asked that
question, that right hook.
Okay. And Skull can get off the right hook.
Asked that question.
Let Ty finish. Then you go. They cook up. Thomas. Wait, go ahead, Ty.
I seen a lesser talented guy, William Skull, get off a left. The right hook.
Yep.
I mean, not right uppercut that he didn't miss off of.
That's true.
When he countered him off the left hook
every time.
He fleet of foot though.
Did Canelo throw anything back?
Nah, but you think Bud's as fleet as foot as gosh dang buddy? William Skull?
Hell yeah.
You say yeah?
Bud's more athletic than him.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay, we gonna see.
I say Bud, the Skull was the way he was circling the ring. Bud do that in the middle.
Okay, we gonna see.
All right, go back to Bud and Spence fight. If you look at the fight, you see how many spins Spence was trying to do to hit Bud? Bud was in the middle of the ring just spinning right around him. That's why he couldn't hit him. Spence didn't know where he was at.
Right.
He kept look at the fight again.
I hear you. I'm gonna go. I watched that fight a whole bunch of times. I hear what you said.
Yeah. Remember when he dropped him in the second round?
Yep.
See how he dropped him. See how many times he spent him and set him right up. He just spent him and set him right up. You look at the fight. Look at it. He right in the middle of the ring. He was just spinning him around, and he caught him.
I understand that spin, man. We gonna spin it to Thomas real quick because
footwork is crazy.
I don't know now. I don't know about that, but we gonna see. Go ahead. Talk to me, Thomas. What you think about that, man?
What he just said, it was wild.
Everything. Everything. Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm tripping, bro.
Look at it.
Maybe I'm tripping, man.
I don't know about the spin, but
just look at it.
See, Bud using that east to west movement that Shakur uses in the pocket. That's how he will evade Canelo. He's not going to jump in and out like how School did.
Nope.
Yeah, man.
You're going to spin him around in the middle of that ring, man.
But in the process of doing that, and in order for him to get the victory, because this is another thing that your boy did, he definitely took that left away and he countered off of it all the time, and he waited, but he took punches to the shoulder, and he said, "Man, my shoulders were hurting like hell in that fight."
Yep. He talking about
the resolve that he had allowed for him to take the punches and then shoot off those combinations. But he took the punches and then shut off of him. He said, man, his shoulder hurt throughout the course of that fight. Later in the rounds, it was really hurting. And he said after the fight, he could barely lift them off.
But Thomas, may I ask you a question? And this for every Mr. Thomas, Mr. Ty, Mr. Oser. Why do you think he was able to take them punches? Because he's bigger. I mean, not just bigger. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Bivol's tough too. Don't get me wrong. But Terrence Crawford is tough as well. But he's tough and he's smaller, bro. Them punches gonna hurt way more, man. His gosh dang heart gonna be hurting. His shoulder, his heart, his he gonna feel it from the left side to the right side, the right side to the, you know what I'm saying, from the his hair follicles to his toe bottom, man. Come on, man. His whole foot bottom gonna be hurting, man. Come on, man.
Physically, yeah, he was bigger.
So could this be a point? Could this be a point?
Yes.
Say if y'all go back and watch the Spence fight, y'all see what I mean. But Spence, right? Now, you didn't see him do it. He didn't do it to Madrimov.
Who?
And it's the reason why he didn't do it to Madrimov.
Oh, okay.
Because Madrimov and Spence, fight different. Madrimov runs around the ring. Spence sitting in the middle of the ring. That's what Spence like to do. Spence ain't one to dance around, and this is why he's available to get spun around in the middle of the ring. And Canelo's the same way. If Skull wasn't running around, Canelo wouldn't have been chasing him. He'd have been right in the middle of the ring. You know what Canelo want to do. Everybody in the world know what he want to do. He want to beat you up. He got a chin. You know, come on, that's Canelo.
Yep.
So he is prime suspect to get spent around in the middle of that ring.
Okay. I mean,
he's prime for that.
He means Buzz
his
want to step and pivot around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You know, pick the same. You know that Easter. You see Bud do it when he's sparring.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's sitting there with his gloves on, he's just training. You'll see him move. He always spinning around, whoop, spinning around. You see it.
You gonna mess around and do too many guys that ain't spins now. You gonna end up on his back outside the ring like B-Hop.
He might go with a whole different plan. I mean, he might go with a whole different plan. I don't know. I'm just saying. From what I see, he might go in there with a whole different plan. I don't know. He might go in there like Skull. I don't know.
Yeah. You're right. No, you're right. Yeah, I don't know either. And I don't know either. I mean, and Canelo, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know what Canelo gonna do. So we're gonna see.
And they say that's what I think that's a misjudge when they say he ain't never been hit by somebody like that. He ain't never been in a ring because he fight at 147. You don't know what he's sparring with. You don't know who he's sparring with. He could be in a ring sparring with 160, 180 people. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Mikey Garcia knocked out a heavyweight too. I don't care about that. I ain't gonna lie.
Still different gloves.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not good, but I don't really.
I mean, it's hard, man.
I'm quite sure he's not sparring 147s right now, going to the ring.
I agree with that.
I mean,
I agree with that.
That's complete stupidity.
I agree with that.
Well, nah, man, I don't think that either, and I don't think that he doesn't have a chance. I'm just saying, man, the shoulder tap that he was taking, Bivol was taking. Bivol spoke to how painful it was, and it was the hardest he's ever been hit in a fight. And we saw what he did to Charlo. Charlo got gunshot from a shoulder shot.
Charlo came in gunshot.
Charlo, and you see that one. But Bivol, when you say catch and shoot, that's part of catch and shoot. That's part of it. You take it, but
don't catch.
But I'm saying,
don't do that.
No. I'm saying he said he's catching him in the shoulder. So he catching him in the shoulder could be hurting, but when he's getting back, he was getting back 4 pieces.
You're right.
He still had the mental perseverance to keep pressing forward, put that stick out there, throw combinations off of that.
That's exactly. Hit that shoulder and tap you up the whole time.
Crawford's gonna have to have that to the highest degree because it took your boy Charlo out the game. One shoulder shot took his ass out the game.
Charlo was gone before he got in the game. Charlo was gone before he got in the ring. He didn't even want to fight.
Charlo he didn't have a live dog. That boy was injured coming in that fight. The minute y'all seen Charlo hit the stage and be respectful, not talking his shit, y'all should have known something was wrong.
Yeah. You got a point there, Ty, for real. You got a fucking point there.
My man was up there like, thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Canelo, sir. Taking this fight on behalf of my brother, sir. And got cooked.
Hey, Simon, what does mayates mean to you? I want to ask you. Explain to me what mayates mean. Explain to me what mayates mean before I get you up out of here. I want you to explain. Don't say it. I want explain what that word means.
Oh, let me go and check and see who the mayate is. You talking about me?
I don't know what you're talking about. Apparently he's talking about himself.
Ain't no moon crickets around here. What you talking about?
Moon crickets.
Canelo spars heavyweights also. Flatbush, check this out. That punch right there is what I'm trying to pause. It won't let me pause it right there. That's just one punch. He slipped it. I could. I know you can't, Oscar. I know what it means too. You know, people think they slick when they, they smart, bro. Now I wanted him to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Since people, because I guess I don't know why people think that they smart on the internet, bro. The fact that you try to disrespect people on the internet already lets me know that you're a low intelligent being. Your intellect is lacking. So But I just wanted to hear from their own words what Mayate meant.
Hey, I guess, see, Ty don't play around, though, dog. He ain't giving you no chance to explain sheep dip.
Oh, Ty got him up out of there. Shout out to my boy Ty.
Ty don't play. Like, dude, there's a show for you. Go watch it.
You feel me? You feel me?
Kendrick was next, and then Oscar. Oscar know what it meant. He said, "Hell no."
Yep. I know what it means too.
What did he say?
He said, "Salute, Mayates."
Oh boy,
it's a derogatory term towards darker complexion individuals from
everybody got something that only come out at night.
Everybody got
the man that was. Oh, my bad. For the man that was on my man Doc head for not being understanding, bro. Look what he did. He was gonna give my man a chance to explain, dog.
I was gonna give him a chance to explain, and maybe he doesn't know. So words
on know.
Yeah, of course
he know. His ass is good where he at. He know.
Facts. He said, yeah, facts. He said, Charlo and Bud are cut from completely different cloth. I agree with that now, Kendrick. But I also think
for the people in the cheap seats.
I think that a lot of us, I mean, we have to go off what we could go off of, though, right? We got to go off of their opponents and stuff like that. There's no opponent that Bud is for. I mean, I like the Spence comparison as far as what they want to do in the ring, but even then, it's still different. Just the size differential is different. And so everything's gonna be different. I'm not saying that Charlo, but I think Charlo is a good comparison of what we could go off of. But I agree. I think Bud's gonna attack. He's not gonna be intimidated. And I do agree with what Ty said. I think that Charlo was already too concerned about Canelo's power going in. But I will say this though, I don't think Charlo no pussy, and I don't think he's dumb. So I think there's a good reason why he was concerned. There's a good reason why he was concerned. No, go ahead, Ty. Go ahead, bro.
Bud not coming in 60 days removed from a knuckle realignment.
That's true.
After having a broken hand.
That's true.
The last person that Bud picked to fight, which was only one person, and he did him so bad, and this was the golden child, the face of boxing at the time, and all this old fly stuff. And he did it. I got to go by that. I can't go by Canelo.
We getting the same look.
What'd you say?
We getting the same look.
I think so. I think it's gonna be worse than that, man. I'm telling you. I think that's just me. I could be crazy. You know what I mean? I'm just one man. I could be crazy, but I really think so. Because if we just want to go by just fighting, just period, their last fights, and everybody say Canelo going down. Only reason people saying this because he's going up a weight. He going up some weight classes to do this. I don't, because like I say, and I asked somebody the other day. I say, yo, who do y'all think that because Crawford could get 1 million people to fight like Canelo to spar with. Who do you think Canelo could get to train for Crawford? Who do you think would be a good person somebody that we know or don't know?
I think I think he gets guys that emulate his style. Yeah, I think so. I think
Skull would be good.
I don't know. Skull, I think it'd be good, but Skull can't be. Like I said,
I think he has spar different. He has spar different because I think he has spar and fight. Regular.
Yeah,
because he could switch. I've seen him. He could switch. I think it'd be a good. Whatchamacallit?
Canelo got somebody in house.
Yeah, I'm thinking like. He got
Cuban kid that was on the undercard.
Yeah. That's a good point. What's his name? I know you're talking about Rohan. I know you're talking about. I can't remember. Yeah,
Rohan.
Yeah, something like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you got him, and then not to mention too. I would say, what was that one guy that was I can't remember his name. I ain't gonna act like I know his name. But he was on.
I believe the black guy that's always in the camps?
Exactly. And I think he was on the Munguia when they were showing the Munguia fight. The beginning, they show like the behind the scenes of the camps and stuff like that, like the 24/7s or whatever. He was on there on the Munguia one. Yeah, that guy.
I don't know. I was just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but is it gonna do it? No, like you said. I mean, your bigger point, what I think your bigger point, correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's hard to replicate that, and it is. I mean, but I think it's hard to replicate Canelo either too. I was watching Terrence Crawford interview the other day, and he was like, "Wait, it might have been on Shannon Sharp." Yeah, I think it was a Shannon Sharp interview. He was like, "Yeah, people keep saying that he's he's just a pressure fighter. He said, no, Canelo's a complete fighter. That's how we're approaching it. And I love to hear that because I know, you know what I'm saying, he's not getting caught up and lost in the sauce like everybody trying to make it seem. And then on the flip side, Reynoso said, no, Terrence Crawford's a very dangerous fighter. That's how we're preparing. That's great. Because that means that they're going to try to dot every I and cross every T. They're not just going in there, oh, yeah, I'm bigger. He's smaller than me. It's going to be easy work. That's when I thought that Canelo would be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? If he approaches it like that, or Reynoso or whatever. And then with Terrence Crawford, I think he would be in trouble if he approaches like, oh, Canelo is just a flat-footed pressure fighter that can't do anything else. I thought they'd be in trouble. But, you know, with him and Bomac and then Canelo and Reynoso, man, I think it's going to be a good fight, man.
Yo. That what's the little Mexican dude in his camp name?
In Bud's camp or Canelo's camp?
Yeah, Bud. Good.
That dude they just went and got, right?
I know he with them from the beginning. He a little short. He always wear caps.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
That dude is nice. He be breaking stuff down.
I'm not sure. I probably know if I see him. I'm not sure.
Ty know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, you always see him with Bomac.
You
He's
always
one of the
see
staples of the gym.
Right.
He been there since like day one.
He don't do much talking. He don't do much talking, but that dude be breaking down fights.
Yep.
I will give him hella credit. That dude be breaking down fighters.
I like Bernie.
Bernie the boxer.
The boxer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know why you like him because he on the same stop Canelo shit as you are.
There you go. There you go.
Bernie need to stay at featherweight.
I'll tell you.
No, I like him as the hype man. I don't like him. I like him as a little hype.
The greatest hype man alive ain't even in the business right now yet, dog.
Who that?
What happened to Chutch? Oh man, for Devin, he need to bring him back, dog. That's what's missing from the Haney camp, dog.
Oh yeah.
He have health problems.
Oh really? Oh, I wish him the best.
Yeah, that's why he not around.
Oh okay.
I
didn't
He
know
behind the scenes moving and shit.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Wish him the best.
The chief handler, Tuts.
Nigga gonna give Bernie his props. Bernie called that Spence fight out. He said, "I'm telling y'all, watch this." You know, him and Bomac was like, "Yo, watch this. Yo, y'all think it's a joke? Watch this, man."
Away from what they said and what they were gonna do. I don't know. We just haven't seen Spence in the ring from that, and I don't think the beating was that bad that he just can't get in the ring, dog. I want to know what the fudge really going on with that dude.
Yeah.
I think that beating was really bad. Spence was a drunk, man. That beating was really bad. That was really bad. That was a real bad beating.
It was bad, but it was bad. But I agree with Tom. I don't think that if you want to get back in the ring, I don't think that stops you. Just that.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
I think it's something else. In addition, I agree with Thomas.
I don't think they're letting him in the ring, and they really didn't want to see. It didn't seem like they really wanted to let him in the ring that night as well, too.
Yeah,
so
I wish they didn't. Be honest, the way that shit looked.
Yeah, they ain't want that fight to happen. Period.
You said what?
They ain't want that fight. They ain't want that fight to happen. They was mad. Spence took that fight. They was like, "Yo, man, remember they was mad when he first took it in the first beginning. They was mad. He took the fight the way him and Crawford made the deal. Remember, Spence came back and like, "Yo, I wanna have this fight." And they was like, "Yo, nah." They was mad, but you know,
I'd be mad too.
This man, I remember watching it. My cousin, me and him was watching it, man. When he came out, I said, "Oh, shit, something just don't look right."
Yeah, it didn't look right.
It just didn't look play. I thought it was gonna play out neat. I thought it was gonna be a hell of a fight. Was a
yeah, that was crazy.
That was a beat down. That was a bad beat down.
Hey, Ty, what they say about what they say about Mo 3, Ty? Rest in peace, Mo 3.
Yeah, hey.
EJ wasn't smoking on 3 that night.
Hey, y'all gotta chill, man. Y'all gotta chill, man.
They been playing 3 fights for him. He ain't seen the ring in neither one of those 3 fights.
Yeah.
It's been almost
3 that fight. You think that fight was on the? I think Dev and Spence going through the same thing because they was in the same kind of category when they beating came. Even though Dev joint was due to PEDs.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm talking about the mental side of them. I ain't, you don't even see Spence. I don't know what's going on, but I know.
That's because Spence problem. He ain't got a trainer. He dealing with legal issues with Derek James.
Yep.
And PBC not really fucking with him like that.
Okay.
Because Derek James forced him to open up the books, so he ain't gonna be doing much of anything for a while.
And then a lot of stuff with Spence though, sometimes you be having pre-existing shit, from drinking, his eye joint.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That it could come back when you get beat like that. That
Yep.
a lot of that pre-existing,
conditions,
trauma or whatever
yeah,
conditions that you had come back when you get beat like that. So I think that's part of it too. You gotta, that eye. You seen Spence eye leaving that fight?
Hey, I seen the boy had dents in his head, bro. Like,
yeah, man, that was.
Hey, y'all chilling my boy Spence, man. Come on, man. We ain't reliving that
Go
right
check
now,
out
bro.
Spence
Come on, man.
Mother's Day post.
Come on, man.
I only seen a couple of fighters with dents in their head before.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all chilling my boy now.
Wilder had dents in his head from that fight with Fury. My man Spence had dents in his head with his fight with Crawford.
Hey, but I remember I seen Spence was slipping already when he fought Ugas. He was slipping.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
He was slipping against Danny Garcia as well. And Angel Garcia said that, his father. So Danny Garcia's father said
he was slipping, man.
Yes. Hey, what'd you say, Ty? You said something about Mother's Day post sent to me? What you talking about?
I was about to say you can see that he ain't the same. Look at his Mother's Day post. He up there with another eye patch on.
Oh man, and that's just yesterday.
I'm telling you that eye that probably started messing with him again, man.
Yeah, my brother got a detached retina, man. He said any minute, man, anything, any joke, could throw his vision and whatnot, man. I mean, I think he can't get back in the ring. Period.
Yeah, and I hope he doesn't, man. If he's not healthy, I hope he doesn't, man. I'll just side because
me too, bro. Because this sport is a brutal sport.
Facts.
And on top of that, man, they allow you to do certain things in the sport that they shouldn't be allowing you to do. So, like, man, you got to get in the ring at any cause just to get back in the ring, man. You get in there against the wrong person doing the wrong stuff, and it'll really be bad. And you can't see coming, you can't deal with it, you can't move, because he couldn't even move in that fight, bro.
Right.
He looked like he's about to fall going into the ring.
Facts.
So, like, I don't know what's going on with that, man, but whatever it is, what Ty said makes sense, fully makes sense. But I think even beyond that, dog, like, there's a lot of things going on with him that he shouldn't probably be in the ring, period. And I mean, it was a fantastic career. Just let it be a career.
Right. But fellas, man, I'm gonna go ahead and call him, man. Give me some food, man. My stomach trying to eat
Get
through
you
my
some
back.
grub, man. Get you some grub, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all pulling up on me as always, man.
You want pizza?
Nah, I might now. Hell, now you talking shoe. I might give me some pizza.
Tell Maury, dog, because Maury got hands, didn't get a chance to speak, bro. He just tapped out.
Yeah, he probably had to do so. He young. He probably had to go to school or something.
And he was supposed to be in school right now.
Right, exactly. I don't know what he got going on. But fellas, man, talk to me. Thomas, go ahead and give me a closing statement, man, before I slide up out of here, please.
Okay, for sure, man. Well, shout out to the good boxer, the good doc of boxing talk.
Appreciate it, brother.
Shout out to boxing, man. Unfortunately, like my man Mike Hale said, we saw the best of boxing and the very worst of boxing, man. Boxing took a black eye in certain sports, but the future is bright. They just gotta let it be a place that they can shine and show their true talent, man. And let's get the fights. Let's just get the fights.
Facts. Love it, man. Love it, man. Talk to me, Ulster.
You know me, man. Crawford in the 11th round. That's all I'm saying. I'm talking that into the existence from now to then.
Hey.
You hear me?
Ain't mad at that, man. Appreciate you, Thomas. Appreciate you, Ulster. Talk to me, Ty. Oh, they got Ty.
Let me look at this. I see I'm gonna have to renege on what I said before.
Okay.
I got Bud beating Canelo.
Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely time for me to go.
For a similar reason why he beat Errol Spence Jr. Timing. Might be different circumstances.
Yep.
But Canelo skated away with a couple close ones against guys he shouldn't have been close with. Nobody ever brings up John Mooman Ryder.
Recently retired. Shout out to John Gorilla Ryder, Mooman Ryder. Ty came to the dark side. I guess so, man. But shoot, fellas, I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Mr. Thomas. Shout out to Mr. Olsen. Shout out to Mr. Ty, man. Appreciate y'all boys, man. God bless. I'm going to catch y'all on the late show.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, bet. Good Lord willing. Y'all be easy, man. Yes, sir. Chat, man. I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Shout out to the dope gentleman that pulled up. I think who else pulled up? Mikhail for the first time. Shout out to him. Team Slime pulling up for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Getting his Discord debut on. You feel me? That's dope, man. We love having new members. We love having new members joining the conversation, man. Shout out to my guy Thomas Hill. Shout out to my guy Oster. Shout out to my guy Bodega Ty. And Omari also pulled up. Shout out to the young Prince Omari, man. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate everybody pulling up, man. Hey, like I said, we talk good boxing over here, man. It's not about, you know, of course, passions run deep sometimes. Passions run high. And we are going to, you know, get into a little argument, but that's never the goal. The goal is not really even to debate. We just want to talk boxing, have good discussion, man. You feel me? Just good discussion, good communication, good conversation. And if you can't get down with that, then see your way out, man. I ain't on that little childish stuff. Like I said, it don't matter. I'm not talking about argument. We can argue all day, but I'm not here to talk about nobody's mama, talk about nobody's ethnicity, complexion, religion, orientation. We just here to talk good boxing, man. Make boxing fun. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy each other, man. Establish this fellowship between good brothers and sisters, good kings and queens, and keep it popping like that, man. But aside from that mushy stuff, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, man. Our subscribers are going up, bro. Hey, the last video is going crazy. You know what I'm saying? About Charly Suarez and Emanuel Navarrete. If only we were able to get that much love and attention when we make all boxing videos, because I didn't change. My boxing video quality is the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just what people want to click on, you know, what people are interested in. When I make a video about Shakur or Gervonta or Gabriela Fedor or Clarissa Shields or Alexander Usyk or Oscar Collazo, you got to show up too, man. Show the support, man. That's what keeps us going and growing, and it's free. So go ahead, smack that like button, smack the subscribe button as well. Hit that notification bell also, so you get notified when dropping another YouTube video banger. We go live Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the morning show, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the late show, man. So let's turn this up, man. Share the video, share the content, like the content. Keeps us going and growing. And shout out to all the members. Shout out to the those that are dropping super chats as well. We got 2 super chats today, both from Oscar, holding it down as usual. Mi hermano, you know what I'm talking about, with the $2 on the super chat. Appreciate that. And another $2. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Oscar dropping the graffiti on the chat walls. And shout out to all the members, everybody that got the glove by them. They can use these fire emotes, and most importantly, hold it down for the channel and keep us going, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Big up to the members. Y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. Remember, I want to ask y'all too, chat. When I go work it out, when I go work out, y'all let me know. Y'all want me to go live when I do my workouts at the park? Because I'll be out there in the park doing my calisthenics joints. You know what I'm talking about? I'll be getting it in. You feel me? If y'all want me to go live, I don't mind going live, bro. You know, my partner been telling me about that. He's like, man, go live, bro. You work it out, go live. I'll be like, man, ain't nobody trying to see me work out and stuff. I used to do that too on Twitch. So I used to do my morning workouts on live before I go to work, and then come back and then stream the gaming content. Like, because I'll wake up early in the morning, work out, go to work, do my engineering thing in my office, and come back and do my gaming thing at the late streams. But yeah, I don't mind cutting. I ain't gonna do it all the time now, but maybe I could do like the workout streams for like the members only or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, man, we'll see how it goes, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that idea. And I meant to ask that earlier, but it's all good, man. It's all good, man. Y'all let me know. But yeah, I appreciate y'all rocking as always. I'm gonna go get me some grub, get me some food. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.